Breaking news. Breaking news. Breaking news. Everybody, breaking news. Everybody, are you watching? Are we on? Are we live? Breaking news. Vladimir Zelensky wore a suit to meet with Trump yesterday. I repeat, he wore a suit. Are you aware? Zelensky wore a suit. That's what you're here for, right? You want an update on Suitgate? You got it. That's why I'm here. Ow. That's why the new American media exists. How? Aren't there like things people do and they hit themselves? I see with like rugby players. They're like, and they hit themselves. Isn't there something? I keep seeing groups of Muslim men. They're like, hitting themselves or something. There's people that pat themselves on the back, literally, like me every time I say something funny or poignant. Look at me patting myself on the back. Breaking news, Zelensky wore a suit. That's all I'm here to tell you today. Just kidding. Lake Leon. He got that little boy's suit on discount at Kids R Us. Now, we're going to get into all of the stuff on today's show. But let's actually do an open. Broadcasting to you live from the Orion spiral arm of the Milky Way galaxy, the solar system, planet Earth, North America, the United States of America, Kentucky, Louisville, to be specific. My name is BrianEngelman. Today is Tuesday, August the 19th, 2025. And this right here is known as the TNAM Daily Show here on the new American media, because the old American media has failed you. We're going to cover all the stories. We're going to get all your conversations. Let me put up the chat on the side over here. So tell me your jokes. Tag us with your stories. Let me know what you want us to cover. Tell us what you think we're getting right, what we're getting wrong. Give us your feedback and your opinions on it. This is an interactive conversation here. I'm not here to talk at you. I'm here to play tennis. I'm here to jam. Lake Leon's here to jam in Rumble, in YouTube. By the way, we are under 500 pennies. 500 pennies away from getting YouTube monetization potentiality again. Let's keep it up. What is it? 50 people doing 10 extra pennies of hours will get us there. 10 people doing 50 hours will get us there. I know Patriot Warrior Texas, you've been crushing. Hello again, Marion. What's up? Thank you all for being here. So let's drop the intro and begin the show. Yeah.
Your guide to the truth, thenewamericanmedia.com.
Thank you all for being here today. Yes. Had one of those really good days yesterday. I mean, it was just, in some ways I was taken off course from other things I intended to do. And in other ways, I did some things that needed to be done, that have been on that to-do list for a little too damn long. I mean, you probably have a similar thing, right? Too many things are going on right now. Too many things on the to-do list. You can't quite keep up. Well, yesterday I was able to take care of a couple of things, and I'm very happy about it. So it's sort of freed up today to be a different kind of day. But yes, thanks for sticking with me as the launch time of today's program was delayed a little bit, but it's all right. It's all good. All right, let's get to the news, shall we? Whoop, story is no longer available. No. Instagram timed me out of one of my stories that I wanted to share. See, if I would have went on time, I would have had that show. I would have had that segment for you. All right, let's pull up our Instagram feed. If you're not following us on Instagram, let me put this up on the screen. These are all the places you can follow us. Patriot Warrior, so he's been streaming solid on the videos. Man, we're getting close. I don't know. I just, everything's so shadow banned. It's like, I just think there's got to be a point where we break through, where we become the Kool-Aid band. All right. What does he say? Okay, all right. What does he say? He goes, oh, yeah. That's what he says. God, it's been a long time since I saw a Kool-Aid commercial. Man, did I used to love going to the grocery store and getting Kool-Aid. All my favorite flavors, all the favorite colors. This stuff's just so much poison. We didn't know any better. Oh, I clicked the donation links instead. I wanted to get to our other places to follow us. But while it's up, we are on Patreon at The New American Media. Thank you to all of our monthly subscribers, and thank you to anyone who will subscribe in the future. We have a tip jar, as all of the regular crowd shuffles in. Come on, grab a seat at the bar, and we'll talk about all the things going on in the world. But we do have our tip jar, Venmo, and Cash App. That is my name, at BrianEngelman, BrianEngelman. And then our PayPal donation link is fuzzinstallment@yahoo.com. That's the email you enter. Then, now scrolling at the bottom of the screen, The New American Media does exist on all these places, so please follow us in more than a couple spots. We definitely appreciate having you. We're on Instagram, Facebook, Truth Social, Rumble, Odysee, Twitch, Kick, DLive, and YouTube at The New American Media. We're on Telegram and Signal at TNAM and TNAM Chat, on X at American_Media_. And subscribe to our podcast. Raise your hand if you've subscribed to our podcast. I never used to upload the podcast. I just put it all on YouTube. And I'm like, wait, YouTube hates me. YouTube hates the people that love this show. I don't want all of my eggs in the damned Google YouTube basket. They hate reality. They hate truth. They hate freedom. They hate liberty. They hate me. They hate you. They hate this country. So, the media landscape has changed so much in the last 4 years. I'm deeply grateful for it. Yeah, because I've been up and down on creating content. And there's been a lot of points where I've just said, well, what is the point? I can't tell you how many hours it takes to put into the show to create the show. And then when, you wish a large number of people would be watching it, and YouTube is not allowing that to happen. Yeah, it gets a little frustrating. It's like, I don't know if this is worth my time. But I've always been addicted to the news, and I hate being lied to. I hate being lied to. I can't stand being lied to. Hey, did you see MSNBC change their name? What a bunch of dorks. Yeah, that'll fix things. Yeah, you're still a demonic deep state entity. No thanks. Still not interested. Rebrand all you want. It's like you go on a date and you're like, that lady's crazy. She hits you back the next day. It's like, I'm wearing a new dress, though, today. Am I less crazy? No, you just gussied yourself up a little. Gussied up. That's an awesome phrase that I haven't heard in a fortnight. Gussied up. By the way, it could be a crazy guy, too. I wore a new shirt. You're still crazy. No, I'm not making a Zelensky joke there. MS, no one's watching. Yes, there you go. There you go. Lake Leon jumping in to fill the Kenneth role. Waiting for Kenneth to join, and David and all of our other regulars. Marion and Nick. Hello, Nick. John Boy. What's up, everyone? All right. Let's check out Stephen A. Smith. He, by the way, I'm calling it. He might be the one that runs for the Democrat presidential candidate in 3 years. He might be the one. I'm not saying he'll win. I'm not saying I love the guy. Look, even Stephen A. Smith and Bill Maher are making some sense now. Hell hath freezeth over. All right, here's Stephen A. Smith kind of talking about how the world has ended up in the mess that we find ourselves in. Here's a little hint if you want me to give you some Cliff Notes. Remember when Cliff Notes were a thing? Now you just Google it. The global problems, it's not Trump's fault. No matter how much the lying legacy media and the deep state hacks want you to think everything's Trump's fault, no. But let's review the dirty work of the Dems.
He's going to act like he caused this now. It's Democrats in office. It was Biden in office when a full-fledged war against Ukraine took place, courtesy of Russia's instigation, no matter what they try to say to Trump. It was Russia that invaded Crimea, and that was under the Obama administration. It was Clinton in office when you made a deal that disarmed the Ukraine and therefore weakened them, leaving them dependent on the United States. And now here they are having to beg for support that they're owed because of what we promised them.
Okay. What they are owed because we promised them. I guess I haven't spent a lot of time connecting that dot. I haven't spent a lot of time connecting those dots. We disarmed them and then said, we'll cover if something happens. And that's why we're on the hook for it. I'm open to in the comments. Are you familiar with that part of disarming Ukraine and then agreeing that we will cover in case anything bad ever like, I don't know. Once again, at a certain point, you go to a restaurant, you have your dinner, and they bring you a bill, and it's for like $700,000. You're like, hey, I think your machine's broke. They go, no. That's the tally for all the meals that were cumulatively consumed. That's tricky to say. Cumulatively consumed at this table. I'm like, that's between you and the accumulation. That ain't about me. At some point, how many decades pass? You're like, well, somebody owes me something. Somebody promised me something. That's the danger of allowing promises and things being owed and favors and paybacks and treaties. And it's reminiscent to how foolish we felt during the COVID situation when we didn't have our supply chain in check, or on track, when we weren't able to get medications, we weren't even producing things in our country anymore. It's like, oh, hell no. The world disappears. We need to be drilling all the energy we need. We need to be creating the energy that we need. We need to be able to manufacture the stuff that we need here. Yeah, but if I can't get slave labor in Indonesia, if I can't outsource my slaveholding mentality to some Chinese high-rise with suicide nets, people making 7 cents a day, I couldn't act all high and mighty as easily. Protesting about how modern day America is the KKK. Okay? The foolishness of trying to export, like Obama with rendition, he exported torture to Northern Africa. And he's like, we don't do that. The United States of America does not torture. No, that's not something we do. Mr. Obama, you're paying these rebels to like abuse these humans and then kill them. Like you're doing this. You're funding these up. Oh, But now hold on. That's a bit of an okey doke. I didn't do that. People say you didn't build that. But sir, you did build that. You did create that. Look, my hands are clean. All right, as clean as they were the day after our chef drowned. I think it was misreported. 3 or 4 feet of water. I think it might have been 7. But look, my hands are as clean as they were the day after. When I was golfing and I had all of my fingers taped up, or some of them taped up. But that's a golf thing. Don't you all golf and tape your hands? No, sir. I just golf. No, but I mean, you do something, right? Maybe I've worn a golf glove. You know what they say? If the glove don't fit, you must acquit. Sir, you're getting really on tangent right now. I don't even know what you're talking about anymore. Neither do I. And that was sort of the point. Gave you the old okey doke. Outsourcing your slave labor. Outsourcing your protection to someone else. That is suicide. Suicide. Can't say that word. We're adults. We can say whatever we want, right? But that's a point that I haven't really considered, and I wanted to put a little bit of attention onto that. What's up, unholy hooks? Top of the morning to you, Chris, down there in San Antonio. Chris, did you ever hear what Charles Barkley said about San Antonio? San Antonio women. Charles Barkley's comments have now become one of the things I think about when I think about San Antonio. And to be fair, I've never been to San Antonio. I've been to Galveston. I've been to Dallas. I've been Austin. Drove through the place. Man, is there a whole lot of nothing in Texas sometimes. What route was Zion? Was that, God, what even was it? 40, 60? I don't remember. God, spent what felt like an entire, maybe 7 or 8 hours just driving through nothing, Texas. The top of the morning to you, Chris. Thanks for joining us. All right, back to Stephen A. Smith.
The nation. We promised them this.
Yeah, well, see, that's the problem with us promising people things. I don't give a shit what Biden was out to lunch. It was Obama and Obama's team. It wasn't Harris. She's out to lunch, smashing martinis, allegedly. I don't know what she drinks. Is she into wine like Pelosi? Like, what is Kamala's drink of choice? I wonder if she drinks. What do I care what the traitors of the Obama and Biden administration promised anybody? What do I care? That ain't me. Those aren't the meals. I didn't eat all those meals at that table. I had one meal. That's it. I'll pay you for a meal. Oh, Stephen A. Smith's voice. You can't stand it? Maybe I should try a Stephen A. Smith voice. It is an abrasive voice.
You owe it to the Ukraine. Ukraine.
You owe it to the Ukraine. Then he took out the. It was like Facebook. Get rid of the in the Facebook. Call it Facebook. Get rid of the Ukraine. Remember it was called the Ukraine always? Because it was referring to a region of Russia. It had always been a region of Russia. Remember when I think it was Tucker Carlson went and did the interview with Putin? Putin went on like a 30-minute history lesson, and Tucker's like, with all due respect, what the fuck, dude? Like, what are we? And he was just saying historically, like the Ukraine has always just been a region of Russia. Like, yeah, it's split over the years, but like that's still a part of Russia. You can call it the Ukraine or Ukraine. Doesn't make it so. Unholy Hoax remembers what he said. Oh, Charles Barkley. Charles Barkley, I thought he might have gone into a political career at one point. He wrote that book, confusing it with Jesse Ventura, who wrote Ain't Got Time to Bleed. What was that book? Charles Barkley. I forget. But yeah, Barkley was Barkley makes some sense. A lot of people make sense if you give them some grace and let them talk long enough. Charles Barkley, Stephen A. Smith, Bill Maher, a lot of these people make sense. Now, they have their lunatic fringe ideas, and let's be honest, I'm sure some people in our lives might think we have lunatic fringe ideas. I don't know that I would agree. I don't think so. But
you absolutely do. I'm not saying I like it. I'm not saying I like spending billions of our taxpayer dollars to them.
Hundreds of billions. I mean, we got to be at $1 trillion, right?
That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is promises made are supposed to be promises kept. You promised them. America. We ain't going to act like he caused this now. It's Democrats in office. It was Biden.
It's not Trump that you should be blaming for any of this mess. It was Democrats in office. That is very well said.
Biden in office when a full-fledged war against Ukraine took place, courtesy of Russia's instigation, no matter what they try to say to Trump. It was Russia that invaded Crimea, and that was under the Obama administration.
This just reset. I think this just reset.
It was Clinton in office when you made a deal that disarmed Ukraine and therefore weakened them, leaving them dependent on the United States.
Disarmed them under Clinton, leaving them dependent on the United States. I wonder what Grok would say about the context. Did Clinton? Here, are you guys using Grok? It's a great way. You know, they're not a sponsor or anything, but it's such a good search tool, and you can't ever believe everything you see. On Grok, but it's a place to start, I would say. Disarm Ukraine and promise military protection. Because this is an aspect I have not spent a lot of time discussing. 94, Clinton played a key role negotiating Budapest Memorandum on Security Assurances signed by the U.S., U.K., Russia, Ukraine. Agreement part of a broader effort to denuclearize Ukraine, which had inherited the world's third largest nuclear arsenal after Soviet Union collapsed in 91. Memorandum did not, however, include a promise of military protection, despite Ukraine's desire for stronger security guarantees. Okay. I feel like that's important context to have there. So it's not like we specifically, directly created all of this mess. When Russia collapsed, it left all of these things just sitting out there. All right, so there's a little bit more context there. But Stephen A. Smith is correct to call some of this stuff out. And I think the only way the Democrats are going to move forward is they're going to have to start finding a way to produce some honesty. Everything they've done has been to lie, cheat, and steal.
No, the Republicans are the ones that lie, cheat, and steal.
Okay. Look at the provisions. Look at what's been happening in America since Dad came back home. Oh, Dad's going to be pissed. Dad is going to be pissed off when he gets back in office. I think he said Ukraine, Russia is the last war that he needs to resolve. 7 wars Trump has stopped. These idiots still won't give him the Nobel Peace Prize. You know why? Because everything the Dems and the deep state have been doing, it's all based on lies. It's all based on misinformation. It's all based on trying to change reality into something that it's not. And it doesn't hold up to scrutiny. You know, I think, an underreported component of what's been going on is the internet. The Democrats got away with what they got away with because we didn't have the internet to bust them, to call them out on their bullshit. I've long talked about this and thought this. Hello, Daddy Trump 2028. I think I know who that is. You know, Hillary Clinton on her whistle stop tour. Oh, I keep hot sauce in my purse. Oh, I'm so likable to the African Americans in my district. I'm a Southerner just like y'all. I keep hot sauce in my purse. Someone told me y'all African Americans keep hot sauce in your purse or something. And you're like, so cringe. What are you doing? Kamala's 9 accents. But that stuff would work. When they'd write about it in the paper, you couldn't hear them. You couldn't hear them lie. You couldn't hear someone say something today and say the exact opposite next time and go, wait a minute, why did they? It's okay it's okay to change your, what was I going to say? Political affiliation, your perspective on a topic, a core value can change. I remember I was very pro-life going into college, and I was having a conversation with a student, and she told me her story of what she went through in high school, and I was like, huh. All right. Okay. All right. I guess I understand it a little bit better now. I hadn't really thought about that perspective much. And part of me does still think that in a society this large, with this many people in this many different situations, having it as an option that some people could choose if they wanted to, while other people remain pro-life and encourage them, please don't do that. Or let's not get into that situation in the first place. Of course, you know, aggressive, violent acts withstanding the you know, abuse and stuff. That's not what I'm talking about. But, you know, consensual, reckless things that lead to, oops, got a problem. It'd be easier if I could take care of that. Sorry for the sound effect. It could have been way worse, though. The sound effect I was going to go for was going to be way worse. Back to patting myself on the back with that one. It's a good thing I have no shame, or else I might occasionally embarrass myself. It changes your perspective a little bit. And I think we do need that. We need to take in a variety of views. We need to consider different things, for sure. Anyway, back to Stephen A. Smith. He's done, but just keep your eyes peeled. I'm going to call him as an early favorite to run for president on the Democrat Party. The Democrats might have to get honest, which would mean totally breaking their brand. What is their brand? It's the deep state, the alphabet agencies, taken over by the Democrat deep state globalist party, the New World Order, the Illuminati, whatever group you want to think runs the world. Ooh, there's a question. How spicy do we want to make this? Let's go spicy. I think Beyonce told us, who runs the world? Did you get that song in your head? Didn't she say girls run the world? Who runs the world? What group runs the world? We just said goodbye to Hulk Hogan, and he was a part of the NWO. I remember in the mid-90s in the New World Order. New World Order. 1,000 points of light. There will be a new world order. Okay, CIA Director George Bush and your son. And your other son. Please clap. Please clap. Remember how lame Florida was when you had Jeb Bush down there? Now it's got DeSantis, who, by the way, was also super lame when he turned on Trump. We'll never forgive him for that. But he does a good job running Florida. I do appreciate that. Lake Leon says lizards run the world. Yes, I mean, everything always goes up to shape-shifting reptilians from another dimension or another planet. And damn if Anna Paulina Luna wasn't just telling us, yeah, there's things from other dimensions that are, like she was on with Rogan getting into all this stuff. So, yeah. Shape-shifting reptilians. It all goes back to David Icke, right? All right, moving on from Stephen A. Smith. Just keep your eye peeled on Stephen A. Smith. I don't think we're done hearing from him. There's not a lot of people picking up the mantle. All right. So this here, Animal-Based Bay. Hello, Animal-Based Bay. Lindsay de Aguila. Hey, let's pull this up. Okay, bioethicists. Damn, if that isn't a screwed up word. Bioethicists want ticks to infect people to stop them from eating meat. 2 medical researchers say tick-borne... Hang on, can you see this? I'm not on this screen. Nope. Let's shift it. There we go. 2 medical researchers say tick-borne meat allergy should be allowed to spread because eating meat is morally reprehensible. Now, let me share a little story with you. See that? See down there? I don't know if I can... It's right there. Yeah, there it is. Right there. See that? This was on my knee. Earlier this season, I found 2 on my hip. And I think it was last season, I found 2 on my other hip. Maybe like at the waistband of the shorts. Now, I love spending time outside. Cutting the grass, trimming the hedges, cutting trees, just landscape. I love being out in the heat, just drenched in sweat. Sorry for that visual. Unless you're welcome for that visual. I love working out in the yard. I love being outside. I just love being outside. Always have. Grew up in a house. It was a really cool neighborhood because like it was a busy street, too busy, but we had a basketball hoop. It was fine. But the backyard, man, it was like a deep rectangle, and it was a baseball diamond. It was a football field, and it was woods. So it was like a rectangle neighborhood with parallel streets, but everyone's backyard shared woods. So there was this nice woodland area in between this whole community all the way back. And man, if I wouldn't build forts and make bike trails and grow things, and I love being outside. But my God, every time you get a mosquito bite now, you're like, holy shit, did Bill Gates just infect me with something? Holy shit, did some environmental wacko just make me allergic to meat, which is one of the most healthy things you can eat on this planet? Meat. By the way, don't take my medical advice, but I mean, really, it's, you know, meat is, I don't know what I enjoy more than red meat. It's right up there at the top of things. My gosh, I used to like shrimp. Went out to a restaurant over the weekend and made some shrimp, and they didn't even cook it right. It was like browned and like grilled on one side, but it was like translucent and undercooked on the other. It's like, what the hell is this? It's awful. Took that off the bill. Got a sherbet. But are you guys worried? Are you worried that a simple mosquito bite or a simple tick bite is going to give you something that's going to destroy your fucking life? You're going to be allergic to meat? Like, what are we supposed to eat after that? And the whole thing with ticks, isn't that what Lyme disease is? I know. Hey, David Bance jumping in up in Canada saying, I really like crab. I love crab. I used to love crab. You know, shrimp and crab. I've kind of gotten away from the bottom feeders a little bit. But let me tell you, yeah, when I'm in a crab kick, I love me some crab. It's super expensive. Yes, you're right. I used to be a bartender at a place, well, many. I'd love to try to figure out how many places I've bartended at. I don't even know if I could count how many places I've been. But I used to work at Joe's Crab Shack, and I would get the king crab, the Alaskan king crab. Oh. And so the trick is you get that little fork, and you take and you kind of use it like a letter opener. You go, and you just kind of slice up, and you go, and then you peel the whole spiny thing back. Get that Alaskan king crab. Oh man, I almost started drooling. No fooling, I almost started drooling. All right, but I'm concerned that a mosquito bite or a tick bite is going to do something bad to me. Either inject me with something I don't want, or, well, no, just, I mean, it's going to, yeah, get something from a bite. So I'm concerned about it. I'm concerned that a tick or mosquito bite is going to give me something that I can't undo through no fault of my own. I'm concerned. Do you agree or disagree with my concern? Do you also share that? If your answer is no, you're not concerned, tell me, no, I'm not worried about it. If you are concerned, the bonus question is, to what degree are you concerned? 1 through 10. Put it in the comments. But yeah, I'm getting really creeped out by this. So Animal-Based Bay says, biohacked by a tick? The wild idea behind alpha-gal syndrome. A peer-reviewed paper titled Beneficial Blood Sucking was published in the journal Bioethics in 2025 by two bioethicists, Parker Crutchfield and Blake Harith of Western Michigan University. In the paper, they argue that an alpha-gal syndrome, AGS, which is a meat allergy caused by certain tick bites, could motivate people to stop eating meat. If one assumes eating meat is morally wrong, they frame AGS as a moral enhancer, a bioenhancer. Fucking creepy, dude. Stay in your lane. Stay in your lane and stay out of my life. It's a biological condition promoting virtue by reducing meat consumption, and claim that preventing its spread would also be wrong. Preventing the spread of this would be wrong. Oh my God. Using their convergence argument, they go so far as suggesting that promoting AGS would be morally obligatory since it doesn't violate rights and encourages more virtuous behavior. According to who? We were designed to eat meat, and I'm not going to be told no. And I'm not. I just saw something that Beyond Meat might be going bankrupt. Let me ask Grok. Did Beyond Meat go bankrupt? Am I remembering that story correctly and did the thing that I saw? Okay, so here we go. Beyond Meat has not filed for bankruptcy. You might scroll and see this story. The company issued a statement a few days ago denying rumors of Chapter 11 filing, calling them unequivocally false and stating they have no plans to file for bankruptcy. However, Beyond Meat is facing significant financial. Who the fuck would eat Beyond Meat? Eat meat. God. Sorry, you do you. if you personally want to eat soy, good luck with that, soy boy. And look, I've eaten things that were vegetable based that were fantastic. I've had patties that were like peas and corn and carrots and like kind of pressed together. Depends on what ingredients are using to, keep it. But I've had some stuff that was fantastic. It just tasted good. It was great. And I'm okay doing that if they're actual normal ingredients. I would eat a patty-shaped vegetable side dish as long as it's not held together with rapeseed oil or, if it's got the word rape in it, it's got to be good, right? It's rapeseed. Huh? Rapeseed oil? Rapeseed oil? That's the name. Who's the marketing genius that came up with that? The wizards who gave you MS. What did MSNBC change their name to? Something stupid. MS Now or something. Okay, so however, Beyond Meat is facing significant financial challenges with Q2 revenue in 25 down 19% year over year to 75 million, a net loss of 29 million, and 1.2 billion in debt against 173 million in cash. Some analysts estimate a high probability of financial distress in the next 2 years, but the company is implementing cost-cutting measures, including layoffs and a rebrand to Beyond to avoid bankruptcy. Well, okay. So reading that sort of sounds like what the new American media usually does. What the new American media is fucking famous for. Famous in the circles of the people that know us. We predict the future. Or maybe not that we predict the future so much. I know Scott Adams, he makes bold predictions, and he likes to, making predictions is one of the main things that he does. I think what the new American media does here at TNAM, by the way, hit like, hit subscribe, hit copy, and share the show with a couple of your friends. Text it to a couple of your smart friends and go, hey, we're meeting again. We're unpacking the news. Join us in the comments section. Or share it on social media. But we put our ear to the train track. Did you ever used to do that? Now, I don't know. I in some ways, I grew up, I had the perfect life. And that's not true at all. But in some ways, like, nobody's life is perfect. But it had enough goodness in it that I wouldn't trade it. Maybe that's fair. I had someone tell me, oh, you always say you grew up poor. I'm like, I don't think I ever did say I grew up poor. I rarely got what I wanted. I got deals. I got whatever we could find a deal on. And holy shit, does that get exhausting after a while. It's just like, come on. Can we just get the thing? If I want Nikes, can I just get a pair of Nikes? Do I have to go get like the off-brand or the Big Lots version, or like the one with the scratch and dent on it? Do I have to always get I wanted to go pick a bike. You found one on discount. Now I'm riding a purple bike. I don't want a purple bike. Oh, got a good deal on it. There's a good reason you got a good deal on it. Nobody wants to ride a purple bike. That was my dad. That's still my dad. Love him. One of the most thrifty people I've known. But when it came time for things that I needed, football cleats, or it was pay to play to be on the football team, they helped out with that. They got me onto the team, and I had a yard. I had a little house. I loved how I grew up. But part of that was my dad's parents staying in Pennsylvania. And in their backyard was a train track. Imagine a train track for your backyard. Good grief. But yeah, and we'd take walks down the train tracks and over the creeks and stuff, and put the pennies out, and they'd roll over them and flatten them. But you could put your ear onto the train track and just listen. sometimes you could hear trains that you couldn't see and you couldn't hear in the normal environment. But if you could put your ear to the train track, you get rumblings of what's coming. You go, ooh, oh no, I can feel the vibration. I can hear. That's getting closer. I can hear it now. I can't hear it if I'm up here looking, but if my ear's on the train track, I can tell you what's coming around the bend, a mile or two down. I'll bet you. And you could get pretty good at it. I think the new American media has done a great job at hearing rumors and rumblings and connecting dots and prognosticating what may be occurring. I have one of my favorite quotes that was thrown back at me by a friend in the media business. And I'm like, what was that? And they repeated it. They're like, yeah, you said that. I go, that is a fantastic quote. I'm writing it down. Hold on. What did I say? He told me again. I'm like, you don't understand. I do hours of programming every day. Like, I don't really, I don't have photographic memory of every last thing I've said. I can't keep track of all my wheelings and dealings, says Homer Simpson on an episode. I can't be expected to keep track of all my wheelings and dealings. But the quote was, my lack of evidence doesn't make me wrong. My lack of evidence doesn't make me wrong. And I will admit, when I don't have evidence, I'm going on gut instinct. I'm going on, no, I've combined about 430 stories that are leading me to believe that there's more to this story and then it's probably about this. I am often proven right on this stuff. Often. Maybe not perfect, but often. So Beyond Meat, no, they haven't filed for bankruptcy. Oh, okay, I guess the story's wrong. Oh, wait, let's read those extra sentences. Sounds like if we can't say that it's inevitable that a bankruptcy is coming, we can say, okay, I can rumblings down the track a little bit. Sounds like that train's having some problems. So I just love checking something and then you're disproven. But then you read 3 more sentences, you're like, wait a minute, no. It's definitely potentially possible, if not likely to happen. But no, it has not happened yet. But as we're trying to go out and discuss the news, John pointed out the one day I referred to myself as a teacher, and I said, we all teach each other. But when we're out having conversations with our buddies or, online or leaving comment, it would be best if we had accurate info. And there's a lot of double checking and shit if it isn't hard to just remember every key component to every little story and every little aspect to it. It's a little tricky. There's a lot going on with it. So keep your eyes peeled for Beyond Meat going bankrupt. We shall see. But anyway, this stuff with the ticks has got me worried. Did you have comments on? I asked you a question, and I know Deb was like, when you ask a question, you should read the answers. I'm like, I do, but I got to finish the thought that's in my head. Then I'll get to the. If I was, could you imagine me if I allowed myself to go on every tangent I wanted? I would never be on the main road. We're all wired a little differently. I hope you find these shows interesting. I know you do because you come back. And they're not too scatterbrained. I do have a fairly good track record of looping back around. I'll pull a Jen Psaki. I'll take a very... They said, sir, you're rambling. I said, no, I call it a weave. A bit of a wide weave. I think that was Rogan talking to... President Trump talking to Rogan. Candidate Trump in 24 talking to Rogan. All right. By the way, my message to these people on Kick and stuff, Centennial, CYSTYGU 25. Tired of streaming to zero? Let's change that. Only Hey, how about this? Do it. Show me. Say, hey, take a look at your numbers. I just gave you 100, whatever it is that you do. Do it. Give me a sample. Give me a taste. It's like what they do in all the middle schools with the drug dealers. Hey, you want to try some of this? Dude, I got some of this stuff. It's awesome. You want to try some? No, just give it a. By the way, I've never intentionally done cocaine in my life. How many times is it? How many times was it offered? I've worked in a lot of bars. A lot of bars. I lived in LA. I lived in a college town. Twice as long as I needed to. Graduated in 4 years, stayed 4 more. But yeah, the drug dealers in the high schools and middle schools, whatever, they just give you a taste. Give you a taste. Get you. Ooh, wow, that's fantastic. I want more of that. Good, because I got some. You just got $20. I'll give you $20. Yeah, you're hooked now. I'll get you. Why don't these people on Kick or Twitch or whatever just be like, hey, let me show you what I'm capable of. Boom. Here's a little taste. You go, huh? Look at that. Now I'm getting all these people coming in from Kick and Twitch. All because of that person that did that thing. Maybe I should work with them and 10x that. Maybe I should 100x that thing that they did. Just dropping a doofy comment like this, like, I am tired of streaming to zero. Let's change that. I don't know who you are, what you're capable of. Show me what you're capable of. But they don't. John's like, I'm like Mikey. I'll eat almost anything. Give it to Mikey. He'll eat anything. I'm sort of Mikey. Sort of. There's very few items that I will not mess with. Lake Leon is not concerned about a mosquito. I've heard them talking about spreading stuff through the mosquitoes and weaponizing the mosquitoes. 1,000 stories about this. It's not just Bill Gates, but it's just like in Lyme disease, they say was a bioengineer. I just... So much of this destruction is so damned unnecessary. It doesn't have to be like this. So you're not concerned? David says anything is possible with these evil people. He is concerned. Marion is a little concerned, but don't fret about it. That's sort of where I'm at. I try to use more spray. I don't like using spray, and I'm trying to find one. Here's a great question of the day. Do you have a spray that you would recommend that uses actual ingredients that aren't going to like make me grow a fourth leg?
Fourth leg? You only have to... Oh, you're making a joke. I find that to be sexist. That's a sexist joke.
No, it's not. It's a funny joke. Do you have any mosquito repellent, mosquito and tick repellent that you use with good ingredients? I had an organic, it was all like, I don't know, rosemary oil and this oil and and it was just like ingredients I understood. And I'm like, all right, I'll spray that shit on everything. I'll spray that on my baked potato. That sounds delicious. Not really, but, and I got one from, where the hell did I get it from? Dr. Bronner's or Murphy. I think it was Murphy's, but it wasn't yet on the Bobby approved list. I don't know if you know the Bobby approved list, but he just goes through all the food and all the ingredients. And it's like, either it's Bobby approved or it's not. And it's like, nope, it has natural flavors. Natural flavors are trash. Those are toxic. Nope, it has artificial food colorings. Those are really bad for you. Nope, it's used seed oil. Can't have that. So you just scan it. It's like, nope, Bobby approved or not Bobby approved. And this mosquito spray was not Bobby approved yet. It was pending. And I got it. And part of what I was doing yesterday that sort of took me off track was a lot of stuff. Working on the house, working on the yard, working on the car. A lot of that. It was just like, got to fix this, got to address that, got to get this tool up and running, got to take care of this, got to break this down, got to go. It was a lot. But then at the end of the day, there were a couple neighbors out and we were collaborating and hanging out. In the evening, got the citronella candles going, which was nice. But then, a couple of bites and I had to spray down. I really don't want gross stuff on me. None of us should. All right, so Marion's a little concerned, but doesn't fret about it. That's sort of where I'm at. I'm not going to stop living my life. I'm going to try to make smarter decisions in my life. I'm going to try. But yeah, I'm not going to stop. David says, I'm not that concerned due to the fact that they're chemtrailing every day. I know. The shit in our water, the shit in our air. I know. David says, Beyond Meat is probably in bankruptcy already, and they don't want investors to know. Now, a potentiality, perhaps? I don't know. All I did was look at Grok based on a story I saw yesterday. I'm not sure how reliable the story I saw yesterday was or how reliable Grok is, because all AI can have hallucinations for damned sure. David asks, how can you be billions in debt and not be bankrupt? I mean, it is the capitalist system. It's sort of, there's investments and there's long-term payoffs and investors, and I don't know. Please let me go billions in debt and not be bankrupt. Seriously, let me have. Hey, it's like the more money we come across, the more problems we see. All right. Who's working on a tan? Kenneth? Me? Am I working on a tan? Do I look tan? Not working on one. Man, I did get tan there for a minute, a month or two ago. I got a lot of sun. Can you do that weird thing with your neck? Oh, man. It's kind of weird, right? Okay, Marion says sulfur powder for ticks, and I can't say that word. Oh, wait, it's not the word I thought it was. Victoria's Secret Amber Romance body spray keeps mosquitoes away and you'll smell good too. Really? Okay, I'm tan-ish. All right, I'll take it. Anyway, back to this story here. It's just gross. Alpha-gal syndrome, explosive increase of ticks that cause a meat allergy in the U.S. due to climate crisis. These assholes. Oh, you don't hate these deep state hacks enough. You do not despise these Democrat dipshits enough. Due to climate crisis. Dude, the climate is largely determined by solar activity. You want to go up to the sun and fix the sun? Do it. Oh, I have to release bioengineered ticks to fix the sun. No, you don't. You can go into a basement and stay there forever and leave me alone. Just this stuff really bugs me. Pardon the pun, but I'm hilarious. Oh, there we go. Pat myself on the back again. Yeah. Talk about people that should be in basements and not harming people. This video makes me... This video reminds me of my brother and the fact that he's no longer with us. And he went through this. I didn't want him on remdesivir at all. There was no point. Well, no good point.
Warned the world that there is an experimental drug called...
Shit, there's music in the background of this. I want to play this, but the trick that they use, they just have generic swell of an orchestral swell. It's just press this key on the keyboard, then press this key, then press this key, but then copyright it And every time someone plays it, it'll ping in the system and you'll get royalties for it. Then you get to hijack somebody's content, put advertising onto their video. And then when that ad plays, the person who played that orchestral swell will get the advertising revenue, not the person that did a 3-hour show. A masterclass in news dissemination. I don't want to have to read everything this doctor says, but if I can't play it,
called remdesivir that will be responsible for their death. Yeah,
I explain the entire way in which everyone with C19 being diagnosed in the hospital, how they died between day 1 and day 9. Everybody that died on day 9 of a 10-day treatment of remdesivir. They called it an antiviral drug. Fauci claimed in May of 20 it was found safe and effective in a drug trial in Africa a year earlier in 2019, and he hyperlinked the study in his memo to all hospitals. I happen to be retired. I opened the link to read the study about this drug I'd never heard of, and imagine my shock that in that trial in Africa, a year before COVID, it killed 53% of all people they gave it to. And the safety board for the trial had suspended the use of remdesivir in that trial at month 6 and notified the funders that this drug is too deadly and too toxic. We're not using it anymore against Ebola patients. And guess who I discovered in a research study was the funder of that Ebola trial in Africa of 2019. Fauci and his department at the NIH. So he lied to the entire Congress, lied to the entire American people, and told you the drug was found safe and effective against Ebola when, in fact, the Independent Safety Board deemed it too deadly and too toxic and had pulled it from the trial. America should be furious. Just going to type, "We are furious," and demand Fauci face the music for his crimes against humanity. That is, who's this other guy? The Dr. Odysee show. Dr. Brian Odysee is who that was. Well, I would give you my take on that, but you know my take. You know, those damned hospitals kept hydroxychloroquine and ivermectin monoclonal antibodies away from my brother. Oh, they couldn't wait to give him remdesivir that caused all that harm in those Ebola patients in Africa. Couldn't wait to give him that poison. So, the nurses were calling it "run, death is near." I don't know. Maybe that's fair. Maybe it's not fair, but I hear what I hear, what other doctors saying about it. Prove to me there's any efficacy. Any. Prove to me why you would withhold hydroxychloroquine and ivermectin and monoclonal antibodies from my brother. Not going to get into that today. Except to say I demand justice. All right, here's Chris Pratt. Fuck, though. You know, my neighbor was over and he was telling me about how he... God, that story. What do you do with a story like that? My neighbor's like, "Yep, I served for, what do you say, 7 years, was in Fallujah, and he was with his brother when his brother got eliminated." He said he had to carry him back. Ugh, God. So we had a cheers to our brothers who are hopefully looking down on us now. The medical malpractice from these people that just, they couldn't wait to give remdesivir. Oh, they were so excited they got little bonuses along the way. Oh, they had a one-size-fits-all approach. Oh, it was so nice for them. Those monsters in the medical industry. And couldn't wait to put him on a ventilator too. Oh, that was another bonus, right? That was the rumor, or that was the story. They have federal payout. What was it, 40 grand if you got on a... So, yeah. All right. Not get into that story right now. All right, here's Chris Pratt talking to Bill Maher.
Politics, you inherit enemies, and when you jump on on the bandwagon with who is the most divisive president ever, it makes sense that you're going to be made to look terrible, and so I don't know.
By the way, Barack Hussein Obama was clearly the most divisive president ever. Trump's doing almost everything Trump's doing. They're 80-20 issues. Everyone's like, yes, finally, let's fix that. Oh, great, we're back to doing this. Normalcy again. It was Obama that was the most divisive president ever. Let's get that straight right now.
What to believe? Because it's not like I sit with Bobby and I go, so hey, let's talk about this. Let's talk about. It's like we're just playing cards or playing Mafia or having fun or having dinner. I'm not going to pick his brain to find out exactly which of those things are true. I just kind of assume that none of them are. And for the most part, I wish him well, man. I hope there's certain things that he overseas that seem to be supported in a bipartisan way, like getting terrible toxic stuff out of our kids' food. I think that's a great thing. And so if you do that, that's amazing. I'd hate to be so mired in hatred for the president that any success from his administration is something I'd have an allergic reaction to.
Thank you. Thank you. That is such a great line right there. I'd hate to be so mired in hatred for the president that any success from his administration is something I'd have an allergic reaction to.
To be like, oh, in politics, you inherit enemies. Well, if they do it, I don't want it to happen. I'll put Clorox in my children's cereal myself. It's like, come on, be reasonable here. There's certain things that would be a good thing to have. I want them all to be successful. Well, if they do it, I don't want it to happen. I'll put Clorox.
Thank you, Chris. That'll be my comment.
I hate Bobby Kennedy. I hate Bobby Kennedy.
Why do you hate Bobby?
Yeah, you're just so stupid.
I do have a Trump hater that I keep in my friends list. David says, I'm buried on YouTube again today. What does that mean? I'm buried on YouTube today. Like Leon checking out the White House presser. Anything good? Yes, Kenneth, that story does tick me off. The music issue is a royal pain. It's so stupid. It's ideal if you think what you're trying to do to me. I said think. Okay, so you play a song, put an advertisement to download it. I'm just advertising your song by playing a clip of something in the background. I just don't understand the business model. I don't understand the legal wrangling with YouTube in these places. I just don't get it from a financial perspective. I don't get how it benefits anybody. I don't get who wins. Clorox on the rocks.
President Trump told people to drink bleach.
You have been misinformed. That never happened.
Yeah, but he called Nazis fine people. He said there's very fine people and Nazis are not fine people.
No, he never called them fine people. Literally the opposite. You moron. Thank you, Chris Pratt. Making sense. Take more sense, please. I don't know who this Brandon Jamalint is, but this kind of cracked me up today.
Oh, there's too much ice. Too much ice. Too much ice. Get that back. There's too much ice. Do not play with me. Do not play with me. There's too much ice. I said light ice.
I turned down a second interview for a position because I shared that I am part of the LGBT plus community.
Shut the fuck up, Libiquita. I think America officially has Libiquita fatigue. This is society empowering these people to act like this? Any of the letters in Libiquita, they're about a sexuality. Sexuality don't have nothing to do with anything but sex. Why is it your personality? Why is that shit relevant at a job? In 2025, you know, the Libiquitas and the feminists are at the same finish line.
Libiquita.
You won, but now you got a little bit too much dip on your chip. The fuck do you mean you at a job interview asking, is this a Libiquita friendly place? Nobody gives a fuck.
Oh, this too.
This just cracked me up on him.
Too much ice. Too much ice. Too much ice. Get that back. There's too much ice. Do not play with me. Do not play with me. There's too much ice. I said light ice.
I turned down.
Yeah. There you go. That's your job market. Chris Pratt went from fat to fat. Yeah, he was a little pudgy. Then he became a superhero. Maybe there's hope for all of us, right? Look, Bobby Kennedy and Pete Hegseth. Have you seen the challenge that they're doing? I'll show you in a second. Maybe all of us can go from fat to PHAT. Pretty hot and tempting. Isn't that what that means? He calls them Libiquita. Libiquita fatigue. Yeah, I cover these stories. Not these stories, but like I cover stories every day. And I've had decades of manipulation and brainwashing from teachers, from media. And I still don't really give a shit who you sleep with and what you look like, what your skin tone happens to be, where your parents are from. I care how you treat me. I care how you act. That's it. Oh, Lake Leon says, I did see that video and that one lady kicked butt. Yeah, they kept showing her in the yellow. Oh, they put her front and center because they knew she was going to show up and show off and show out. Good on her. But yeah, a job has nothing to do with what you're going to choose to do outside. Like it does, like the Obama doctrine was to push all of this stuff everywhere they could. The rest of the country and the rest of the globe was going, stop that. Just, we don't want to do that. Come on. Let's get back to, but they were too scared to talk about it. They were silenced. They were shamed. You need to be an ally. Oh, you're not an ally? Wear the ribbon. Wear the ribbon. You will wear the ribbon. The ribbon. That was Kramer in Seinfeld. Wear the ribbon. Like, no, I don't need to be an ally or anything. I just need to keep living my life and you go live yours. How about I don't go out of my way to get in your way and mess up your day? Right? No, you must affirm me. You must tell me I'm great all the time. No, I don't. And you don't need to tell me anything either. It'd be great if you stay out of my way and don't try to make my day bad. And I'll try to do that for you. Because that's just the type of person I am. What type of person? A great person. Some say the best. All right. So what's this? Did hell freeze over? Hillary Clinton praising Trump. What? Shared from I Trust the Science. Oh, what a name. Josh Rice. Okay, it appears to be a... Can you see the image of the person trusting the science? Masked up in like troll hair, like rainbow troll hair. Hillary Clinton, why won't she just go away?
Actually was encouraged by the events of the last several months. First of all, the NATO commitment by individual member states to increase their defense spending is very welcome. It's something that prior administrations have certainly sought, and I think it's great that we are seeing these commitments that now have to be followed through on.
Look at the comments. She's just trying to avoid jail. Hillary is just scared to go to jail. I'm sorry, but my red flag is going up. Man, those Epstein files got everybody acting crazy. Well, her husband was just named as a suspect in the Epstein investigation, so it's time to start kissing a little butt. At some point, we have to acknowledge the fact that Trump is doing more than any other president. Of course she is, because Trump has something on her. Bruh, Hillary fans must be livid right now. Ass kissing at its finest. I'm going through all these comments, and yeah, this is very off-brand for Hillary.
The willingness of European countries to support Ukraine, and by doing so, buy American weapons in order to provide them to the Ukrainians. I think all of that is a very good signal that there is beginning to be a better understanding, both by the president and the people around him, as well as by the leaders of our European allies, that there can be common ground amongst us. And the kind of dismissiveness that we saw in the first Trump administration has been replaced by a much more obvious working relationship to the good of European security, transatlantic security, and hopefully Ukrainian security. So I'm actually encouraged. I actually was encouraged by the events.
Yeah, I said this is very off-brand for Hillary. What is really going on here? Huh? What is really going on? I don't know. What do you guys think? What do you think Hillary's actually feeling good about this? Do you think she realized? I mean, Bill is all over that Epstein Island. Kenneth's saying, sorry, that ain't her, dude. AI or clones. A lot of these people don't look the same anymore. Hillary clone 3.0. Yeah.
To the last several months.
I don't want to listen to her again. I mean, she still has the bags under her eyes. She still has those weird cheeks and the same dumb haircut and the same weird style. She looks like she's lost some weight, which she needed to do. So did I. I took off some. Could probably take off more. I don't know. It kind of looks like, but it's not acting like her. Unless she's just trying to avoid jail. More Chris Pratt talking about Trump derangement syndrome to Bill Maher.
To look terrible, so I don't know what to believe. I'd hate to be so mired in hatred for the president that any success.
This is the same quote. There were a couple quotes, and there's music behind it, so I can't play it. Yes, have an allergic reaction to success, getting terrible, toxic stuff out of kids. Okay, is there more to this? Well, if they do it, I don't want it to happen. I'll put Clorox in my children's cereal myself. Okay, that was the same. I thought that was a different clip. Holy crap. Did you see this video? Tell me, TNAM preparedness. Cankles. I know somebody who was fired from a job at Bob Evans for mentioning a girl's ankles. I don't know if he said cankles or said fat ankles or just mentioned it. It might have been cankles. I don't know. Anyway, so TNAM Preparedness, it's a group we have on Facebook. Find it, follow it. Lake Leon, you're over there on Facebook realm. Are you in our TNAM Preparedness group? TNAM Preparedness. I guess I could have put TNAM food and drink, but each day could be our last. They're doing a video here. They're doing a sample. Check this out. They're like cheersing each other's food. And they set up a little tripod and they're having a fun date night out or something here. So here you go.
Boom.
Boom. While dining.
Boom.
Boom. Dude. So they said an SUV crashes through the window while they're eating. That's the wildest video I've seen all day. I'm happy to bring it to you because, like, holy shit. You know, I was like, man, going out for dinner and they couldn't cook the shrimp right. And it's like, oh, hope this doesn't make, you know, hope we don't get sick and hope this and that and whatever. Not once did I think about an SUV crashing into my table. That scared the shit out of you? It scared the shit out of me too. It scared the shit out of these people. It scared. Look at here. Let me press play. Watch all the people in the background. Look at that. Oh, all four of them are like. Actually, the kid on the right's just watching. The rest of them have their jaws open, like, oh. I mean, it's one of the more interesting videos than ever. I'm reading all the women, all three of them. Oh. Who was holding the camera? Clark Kent. This one says, now that I know y'all are fine and unharmed, physically at least. Because, Lord, I'll be shaking for a bit. What kind of phone setup y'all have? Because that didn't move at all. Yeah, they got angels. Someone crashed their car into the restaurant. They were there. They said they're okay. The slow motion was uncalled for? No, it was totally called for. Like, okay, what is the deal with a Jet 3 holiday? That's a comment there. I was going to say that too. Oh my gosh, it tore all those holes in his pants. Yeah. I thought that too. And he's got a huge chunk of glass right at his crotch. And right, look at the oh, he's getting up and slicing. Oh. That is dangeroso. Imagine. Actually, I'm going to type that in the comments. Hold on. What's this say? Change that. Where is that? There we go. Hang on. Try this again. There we go. Imagine going from mid-food gasm to mid-foodgasm to having your jeans sliced open from shards of glass from an SUV restaurant crash. But really, look at his face. Both of them, the eyes. Is this their thing? They close their eyes and go, that's so good. Mid-foodgasm. That is a fantastic question about the camera. Where the hell was the camera set up? Wouldn't it be on the table? Is glass a condiment? Dude, that huge piece of us. What a weird way to hold his phone in that pocket.
Boom.
Boom. Boom was right. I think enough of this video. But I do need. What is with the Jet 2 holiday or Jet 3 holiday? I don't know what this is all about. I keep seeing that joke being made, but I'm not familiar with what it is. Buy some pants, bro. Hey, Twisted Telex. Oh, cheap viewers on stream. Boo. Remove the space. How about just give me some cheap viewers and go, hey, don't you like having more viewers? I can do more of this for you. Show me. Just do it. I don't even know what this means. Remove a space. HX. What are you even leaving comments like this for? Just show me what you can do. Oh my God, so lucky they walked away, Kenneth. Anyway, just remind you, go eat some good meals. What did Anthony Bourdain say? Go to the dive bar. Go to a happy hour somewhere and talk with the bartender. Make a friend with a stranger. You know, go on the trip. Do the like. Every day could be our last. We just don't know when it is. And that really has been a bit of a guiding force with me for the past couple of years. I'm trying to make sense of the stupid, senseless loss of my brother. And just trying to figure out what I want to be doing. So yeah, I covered the most historic election in American history. And I've been doing more content than I've ever delivered. That is what I want to do. But all right, in the comments, question of the day. Everybody, what's something you've wanted to do for a long time, but you haven't done yet? I told you about all the work. I had to chainsaw some stuff apart and sort out some yard issues, move some landscaping stones to set up a border. I had to deal with, I bought a vehicle that has chips on the hood. I don't know what they were off-roading or something, but there's all these chips, and I went through the car wash and it took off the paint. So I had to reapply the paint touch-up kit and put the lacquer on top to give it the clear coat so it won't happen again, because some of those little pinholes were starting to develop a little bit of rust, and it's like, no, I don't want rust activated. I had to do that. Had to address and reattach something on the stairs, the banister, I had a lot of stuff to do. Something I've wanted to do, I had never done a daily show. So you're finding me finally doing a daily show. I used to do one a week, or I do like an agree to disagree every Friday. Yeah, Lake Leon, you become a trillionaire, hit your boy up. Make you a silent partner in the TNAM empire. Well, I got a building picked out. Make a few key strategic hires. Oh, I got a game plan. I'm ready. Yeah, so go become a trillionaire. Kenneth would like to DJ again. Bro, do it. There's places that'll do it. You could roll into some places that have DJs and see if you can. There might be an opportunity, or hey, you know what? He's moving in a month. Yeah, we could actually use someone, or just have a little sound rig and go. I'd like to DJ on the weekends. Can I DJ here on a Saturday? Do it, man. I've always wanted to do stand-up comedy, and I've been away from it for a minute here while I've been focused on some other stuff, getting more things taken care of on the to-do list. but I've always wanted to do stand-up, and it's, I don't know, it's an art form. It's fun. It's terrifying. It's interesting. It's a good community. A silent DJ. Now they do actually have silent DJs, right? Like they all have earphones on. Everyone's just dancing around, but nobody else can hear the music. Is that what you mean, or just you're making a joke about the silent DJ? Because there are like silent discos. I don't know what they call them exact. Silent disco or silent dance or silent DJ. I don't know, something like that. Anyway, look. By the way, look at that image where I paused this guy's face. That is an unflattering photo of this guy. But yeah. Yes, like the music you sent me. How do you define that music? There's so many subgenres of music. So yeah, if there's something you've wanted to do for a while, I encourage you, go do it. You know, within reason. Don't jump off a bridge with no plan. But like, you know, if there's something good that you've wanted to do, he's giving me the O face. Oh. Imagine dying mid-foodgasm. Boom. Cheers. Okay, I was mid-bite. A succulent Chinese meal. I was just having a succulent Chinese meal. Do you know what that's from? That's an Easter egg quote right there. I was enjoying a succulent Chinese meal. Succulent. I think that legend passed away recently. That story popped up again. Chill House Disco. Gotcha. All right, Charlie Kirk put this out saying borders are biblical. Defending your nation is biblical. Protecting your family and community is biblical. Preserving your faith and culture is biblical. National suicide by mass migration is diabolical. It's fairly well said. We posted, heaven has borders. Hell will let any scumbag in. Just like Biden, Harris, Mayorkas, and Democrats did. Oh, I forgot to type Obama, but you know, that's the same thing. Heaven has strong borders, but hell will let any old scumbag in. All right. Breaking news. President Zelensky has worn a suit. Did you like my cold open? I jumped right to it. I don't know if anyone was even in the room when I started. Did anyone see my cold open? I had the breaking news thing on the screen. Breaking. Zelensky wore a suit. Yes, repeat. Zelensky wore a suit.
Zelensky, you look fabulous in that suit.
I said the same thing.
Yeah, you look.
I said the same thing.
Good.
I said the same thing.
Yeah, looks good.
I said the one that attacked you last time. See, now
that's the one that attacked you.
I remember that.
Yeah, I apologize to you. You look.
And and they're laughing. Look, Trump is laughing. Trump put his hand on. Body language is everything. It really matters. Trump, big smile. He reached out, put his hand in a gentle manner on his arm. Like, I told him the same thing. You look great in that suit. This is the one that attacked you. Now he's going after the press guy. Like, he was just probably Trump's best friend when he did it the first time. Now he's like, that guy attacked you. But they're smiling. You look wonderful.
Wonderful. No, my first question for you, President Zelensky.
In the same suit.
And he points at the reporter and says, but you are in the same suit. That's a good line. You can't coach that shit. Like, you either have and that's what improv comedy is. That's what I want to get into. I want to get into acting. It's so funny because like I lived in LA and didn't really fuck with acting much at all. I did some voiceover stuff for a Western. I was obviously on a game show. I mean, I did stuff, but I didn't really ever pursue acting. I didn't really care. And now as I'm doing comedy, it's like, I want to do skits. Like, I want to act. I want to put pieces together. No, okay. I also did the. Did I ever play you the? No, I think I've played it for you. Remind me in the comments. I had to have. It was the American Psycho parody scene where they're comparing business cards. I acted in the. Anyway, I like doing that stuff. But I like studying body language. And that's a good line. That's improv comedy. That's part of doing stand-up is having prepared material. And the other is just rolling with the moment and having fun with whatever's developing in the room. And just off the top of your head coming up with something. Yeah, I thought that was Brian Glenn. Yeah, I thought it was Brian Glenn. See, that's a job I would like to do. I had one day working with Real America's Voice. Got to jump on in the Bronx, and that was fun. But it's like, I would do that full time. I could crush this gig too.
You see, I changed. You are not.
You see, I changed. You did not. And look at that big smile from Trump. Big smiley Trump is the best Trump.
President Zelensky.
That was just my comment here was the world is healing. It's time for peace. Look how. What is my hair doing? It's a weird hair. But then again, I did sort of literally jump out of the shower to get to the show. But look at how stern the Trump face is. Concerned and serious.
You look fabulous in that suit.
I said the same thing.
Yeah, you look good.
I said the same thing.
Yeah, looks good.
I said to the one that attacked you last time. See?
I attacked you.
I remember that.
Yeah, I apologize to you. Look.
And he did it. Look, and I love the bigness. The bigness. It's gonna be bigly. I actually, I think it was the same guy that got fired for saying someone had cankles. Dude's a dick. But you know, was one of my best friends for a period of my life. And he said something one time, and it was maybe along those lines of what he said that made me just pull back, put some distance, and go, I don't know. I don't think this is a good idea to stay in contact here. And it was discussing like apologies. And it's like, oh, apologies are pointless. It doesn't do anything to the person you're apologizing to. It just makes people feel like they've absolved themselves of doing bad things. And I don't believe in apologies or something like that. And I'm like, oh, so like you would, like in The Cask of Amontillado, you ever read that one? Where he's got this long grudge. Was that Edgar Allan Poe? Long grudge with this guy, and then tricks him into drinking a bunch of wine, and gets him really drunk, and then chains him into the basement and walls him up brick by brick. And that guy I spent a lot of time with, and I'm like, you don't believe in apologies, you don't like apologies, so if anything I've ever done has upset you, you're holding on to it. You're holding on to the rage of whatever that might have felt like, and you're going to get me back at some point. Yeah, that doesn't sound like a partnership that I want to participate in. I'm out. And for these reasons, I'm out. I'm just like, it was that amongst a whole ton of other things. But that was a key moment. There's a video I watched on Instagram, probably. And it's someone in a white truck, and then someone on a motorcycle, and they're next to each other. And the one guy's like, hey, I think the guy in the truck's like, hey, did I pull out in front of you back there? He goes, no, I did. He goes, but you were the guy that stood on at the edge of your driveway and yelled at me. He goes, oh, that was you. He goes, I'm sorry, man. I was having a day, and he goes, and he puts his car in park, opens up the door, kind of comes out, puts his hand out, and he goes, I'm sorry, man. He goes, no, I'm sorry. And it's like, it was two grown men saying, I'm sorry. Whatever version of me that you got in that moment, I don't know. If I could do that again, I wouldn't do that again. I'm sorry for that. You know, I had an apology one time. Apologies matter a lot. You got to be a pretty fucked up person to think that they don't. And this dude is kind of fucked up. For some reasons of how he grew up and then just the person he turned into. Freshman year, I was living in a dorm, guys and girls, and went to a party. A lot of people. We went to a party. Had a great night and got to spend some time with this lady, this woman, this girl, this freshman, college freshman. And after the party, we continued hanging out and had a wonderful time. So this was someone who lived in my dorm. And that was a wonderful time that we had together. And then that was pretty much the extent of that. And she lived upstairs. There was a guy who lived downstairs. Maybe he was at the party, maybe he wasn't at the party, but he started dating that girl. Maybe because I took her home from that party. Maybe because she didn't care for me, or maybe I should have tried harder to continue, or or she didn't like something I did or didn't do or said or didn't. I really don't even know exactly what her issue was per se. But I know that guy hated me. Big dude too, like 6'5", like a big, like a large human. You know, if this was some little twerp, you're just like, whatever. But it's like someone of that size, you got to be very aware that if they're just like seething with rage, and these two were inseparable. They were. I'm tempted to tell you their names because like their name became one name. What were some of the names that like celebrity couples? Ben Affleck and Jennifer Lopez. What did they call them? Or like what celebrity couple would they? We'll name you Homer Jr. Your friends can call you Hoju. Brad and Jennifer. Did they Ben Affleck, Benifer? I think they called it Benifer. We'll just call it Benifer. Thank you. Yes, it was Benifer. They were Benifer. You never saw one of them apart. They were always together. Every time I saw this guy, he would give me the dirtiest looks. The dirtiest looks. And I was in the dorm. I would encounter these all the time. All the time. Breakfast, because the commissary or the diner, or whatever you call it, the cafeteria was right there, the restaurant. Oh, this dude would just shoot me. Oh, he hated me. And I didn't do anything wrong. Like it's not like I kicked her out of my dorm and made her walk home in the snow or something. It's not like we were out at a bar or something and I ran up a big tab and made her pay for. Like I didn't do anything like that. That wasn't a component. It was just we had a great time. And we just didn't follow up on it. That's all. I don't know if it was like he was mad at me because I got there first. I don't know if she told him something that didn't happen. I don't know if I did do something that was actually really that got her angry. I couldn't think of anything. I didn't. So, I'm willing to consider maybe I played a role in that. Or maybe it was just like we had a great night and I didn't follow up. And then what? I'm a player or I'm this or that or I don't know. I don't know. I never really got clarification. And I wasn't really going out of my way to like, no, let's dig deeper. Let me peel back the layers of this onion a little bit more and find out more about this situation. But he lived with on the same floor as my friends, and we'd always run. And then he went off campus, but then and then we'd cross paths, and we'd be walking across the school campus. And be like, this fucking guy, just always shooting daggers in him. And it was a lot of this. Several years passed. I'm trying to remember exactly how many years. Several years passed. He didn't go out of his way to like tell me off. I'm not aware that he ever did anything to me. Could have, that I was unaware of. I don't know. But he just hated me. He hated that I hooked up with his girlfriend before he did or something. Not entirely certain, but I just knew this guy hated me. And it wasn't like I'd walk out the door and go, where's that guy? But it was a big guy. Anyway, the point of it was several years passed. And I encounter this dude. And he looks at me and goes, hey, Brian. I go, hey. He goes, come here for a minute. And I was like around him like, what's up? And he's like, dude, I just want to apologize. I'm like, huh? He goes, I'm sorry, man. He goes, I've hated you for years and there's really no need for this. And I don't know. I've been acting this way toward you for a long time, and I want to tell you I'm sorry because I don't feel good about it, and I want to get, And I was like, whoa. I go, dude. I was like touched. I was like, hey, man, I appreciate that. I never really understood why this turned into a thing, and I'm glad that it doesn't have to be anymore. I said, this has been a lot of years of this, and I really appreciate the fact that we're moving past this, and I never intended to do anything to upset you or her, and moving past this would be fantastic. I'm all about it. Shook hands, pat him on his arm, shook a hand, and I was just like, that means a lot to me. I sincerely appreciate that you apologize. So my psychopath former friend that apologies do nothing for the person that's being apologized to. It's just so that the person that's being an asshole can absolve themselves and go on about their days if they didn't harm other people. I'm like, no, dude, you got it all wrong. It was Maya Angelou talking to Dave Chappelle that said, Dave asked her, Maya, you were there in the civil rights movement. You watched them shoot Bobby Kennedy and JFK and Martin Luther King and Malcolm X. And doesn't that make you angry? And she goes, oh, David. She called Dave Chappelle David. Oh, David. Of course it made me angry. But I couldn't carry that around with me. Anger is like a disease. Anger is like a cancer. It does nothing. It's like I think she said it's like poison. It does nothing to the object I'm angry at, but it would destroy me if I walked around with that poison all day. It would infect me and turn me bitter. I couldn't do that to myself. So yeah, saying I'm sorry or apologizing, that's awesome. Because even our favorite people fuck up. Even our favorite people do shit intentionally that's like, ouch. Oh my God, you did what? You know, so family, come on. People you have to love, people you don't have to love, people you know, unforgivable penalty, unforgivable sins, and little minor stuff. It's all in there somewhere. So right here where he says on the screen, I apologize to you.
You look wonderful.
You look wonderful. Now, he apologized, but then he goes back and takes a dig at him.
No, my first question for you, President Zelensky.
In the same suit. You see, I changed. You are not.
You see, I changed. You did not. And look at, I'm sorry. No, I'm not going to say I'm sorry because I'm rarely. If I'm not sorry, I shouldn't say I'm sorry. But what's better than a legitimate Trump crack up? Like, that is a legitimate laugh. He's kind of, and remember, Zelensky's a comedian. President Trump is our first stand-up comedian as a president. Yeah, he's a comic. He's a character. He's an entertainer. He had the #1 show for how many years on NBC? They're both comics. And if you can, and that is some of my favorite shit too. Like, if I can be in a room with some comics, or like after the show, we'll be hanging out and I can make somebody laugh. Yes. I added to somebody's day. So, no, Kenneth, she didn't, you know, I don't know if they're still together to this day. I mean, they were together for years and years. And I mean, well, I'm not going to get into it. Nope, not going there. I don't know if she broke up with him or any of that, but I really did appreciate that apology. So even in this apology, Zelensky's not letting him get away with the apology, but it's also just a joke, and it's cracking Trump up. And look, if you can just have a couple of chuckles and let the tension out of the room, that opens the door for a negotiation. It makes things possible. The most divine thing you can do is forgive. That's a pretty good comment right there, Kenneth. It's not easy to do. But yeah, I told that guy, man, I appreciate, I said something like I just told you, but yeah, like, I wish it never got to this. I don't recall ever doing anything to you or her that would have facilitated. He's like, you didn't. I believe he said you didn't. That was me. I just didn't, like, I know you get, like, I think it was just, you know, I don't want to use a crude analogy. I can't think of any other way to do it, though. You know what? I'm going to leave the analogies aside. But yeah, Kenneth, what did you say? I took a dip in that pool first. Yeah, I'm not going to do analogies, but yeah, that's not, it just, he didn't like that her and I had already had a great night together. Anyway, let's move it along. But I love this. I literally, this little video, maybe this doesn't mean a lot to other commentators, to other people doing a show. Maybe this didn't get as much play on the news as other moments. And it was funny, but I think there's something real here. There's so much bitterness and so much anger and so much bloodshed and so much money and so much at stake. An apology matters. If that was Brian Glenn, I'm guessing it is. And then Trump praising Zelensky and Zelensky razzing him back a little bit. But like, I have a lot of hope based on this. And look at Trump laughing his ass off. Ha, 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 ha. Happy Trump is the best Trump. I just...
Maybe yours is much better. President.
But look at he went from that big laugh, from this stern face to that big laugh. I changed, you did not. But I really think the world is healing and it's time for peace. So that was a cool clip. Okay, here's another joke. Daily Wire. So a DC leftist, they're on escalators here, talking to ICE agents. You can still choose to do something else. Hi, friends. I'm still here. You can still choose to do something else, she snarkily says. Better? Yep. Bit him too. See, Kenneth gets all my Simpsons references. Kenneth, out of all the reasons I appreciate you, and there's many. Kenneth and I were simpatico. We're homeboys. Out of the many reasons I appreciate you as one of the most awesome regulars in my bar when we unpack the news each day. Supporter of the show, all the things. Kenneth's cool. But maybe the best thing, maybe the thing I like the most about Kenneth is that he gets my Simpsons references. And then he drops Simpsons references that I get. I think that's part of my that might be amongst the things that I miss the most about my youth. Maybe not so much college or high school, but definitely college years and then beyond. All the Simpsons references and people that just understood the references. You don't have to explain the scene. They'll make references. I had an ex-wife who understood the Simpsons, and it was like, okay, well, my life partner gets the Simpsons, and it's actually helpful. She would drop jokes, I would drop jokes, and we would watch all of them. I mean, not religiously, but like they were always on in the band house when we moved off campus and had VCRs recording The Simpsons all day before DVDs. Fuck. You know, you used to hear people say, oh, you know, they grew up before electricity. Before running water, or before the Man on the Moon or something, or before automobiles. And you're like, what? Before the radio, before the television. You're like, what? I grew up in a world with Betamax prior to VCR. I grew up in a world before the internet. Like, that just seems like, to a kid who's 20 and the internet's been around their whole life, like they don't even understand. But yeah, we used to record in college. They would play The Simpsons on 4 different channels back to back to back to back. And I would time my day and I would sit down. I'd eat my lunch, my dinner. I would hit record and I would edit out the commercials. I had a great collection. I think I probably threw that collection in the trash in Los Angeles as I moved back to, or as I moved out of there. I wonder if I have any of those left, but yeah. But yeah, my brother understood The Simpsons. He was in the band with me, lived in the band house with me, and we'd sit and watch the episodes and we'd laugh about them. We'd bring them up all the time. And it was just nice. It was just nice to have, you know, my bass player would watch The Simpsons and reference them all the time. He still does. And some of my other roommates. I don't have a lot of Simpsons camaraderie at this point. And I'm probably 20 seasons behind. Can't tell you the last time. I don't know. Maybe it was an era kind of thing. All right. This lady says you can still choose to do something else. The ICE agent says.
You want to be a veterinarian? You want to be a doctor? You can choose to be a salad.
You can choose to eat a salad. You can choose to do anything else. You can be a veterinarian or a doctor. Learn to code. Yeah, you could choose to eat a salad. Golf clap. Daily Wire says not only are they making America's streets safe, they're making America healthy again. Man. Ooh, there's my quote. Kenneth will know this. With a dry, cool wit like that, he could be an action star. With a dry, cool wit like that, I could be a... So anyway. This is just funny. Got to keep the vibes up. First Baptist Church. Surely the Lord has done great things. He has. And don't call him Shirley. Is the new airplane out? Has anyone watched it? If it's not out, I want to see it when it's out. And if it is out, I would like to go see it. Yeah, people like to laugh. Yeah, there's 1,000 reasons why I'm against unnecessary genital mutilation. Yes, itchy and scratchy land. With a dry, cool wit like that, I could be an action star. I'm against unnecessary genital mutilation. They call them gender-affirming care. No. It's Dr. Frankenstein stuff. Stop it. I'm very against that because it steals the orgasm from the human. Don't ruin your ability to have an orgasm. It's like the best. It's like the best feeling you can have, and it's free, and you can handle it yourself if you need to. Like it's like the best. A laugh is the best. Laughs feel so good. Feel so good. Gotta laugh more. The world needs more laughter. All right. C3C3 says, think about this. And this is maybe one of these stories that's sort of like ear to the train tracks type of stuff. But think about this. Let's connect a few dots, shall we? Trump is surgically destroying the Democrat cheating operation. He ended U.S. aid, which funded the Democrats. He's deporting illegals and fixing the U.S. Census, which steals elections and House seats for Democrats. He's ending mail-in ballots and machines which steal elections from Democrats. And that is amazing. I don't think the Democrats can eclipse 25% support. I don't think this whole notion that we're a 51-49 country, in what universe are half of the Americans stupid enough to support that Democrat Party? And I know there's some people that say, no, it's how stupid do you have to be to support Trump? Convicted 97 times of lawfare. Yes, we know. He's an insurrectionist. No, he's not. Number one, he was the president at the time of the January 6th mostly peaceful protest. Because with 600,000 people there, it was mostly peaceful. And by the way, an insurrection does not involve telling all of your supporters to go peacefully and patriotically make your voices heard, with no calls to use weapons and no weapons being fired that day by the Trump supporters. You can't have an insurrection against yourself. He was the sitting president at the time. It's just, it's the dumbest shit. But yeah, I don't see how the Democrats stand any chance at much of anything right now. I really don't get it. So yeah, U.S. aid is. They're saying the Democrats are, they're like beyond meat. Let me ask Grok. Let me reset this. Compare Democrat to Republican recent fundraising numbers. I heard a report about this. I'm wondering if Grok can find it. But the Dems are going bankrupt. They are legit. This is giving me 24. cycles in 2025. Is it really 2025 already? They're saying it's a slight edge over Democrats. Okay, yeah. RNC's strong cash position, 72 million to the DNC's 15 in May. Attributed to momentum from the 24 election cycle and significant contributions like Musk, Head Start. Okay, that's what I heard. 72 million versus 15 million. I mean, that's 15, 30, 45, 60, 75. That's 5 to 1. That feels about right. 5 to 1 is like, oh, that's 6. So that would be what? Like 15. Anyway. Mail-in ballots, deporting illegals, changing the census to only include citizens, ending U.S. aid. Like, the Democrats are toast. All right, here's another joke, TNAM humor. For all of you that want some gene therapy. No, that's not Sidney Sweeney. That's a man that needs to be executed for war crimes against humanity. But it was funny. Also, nothing funny about what he did to my family. My mom at the beginning of COVID with a respiratory sickness that took her out about a week or two before the pandemic shut the world down. Something like that. I'm trying to remember the exact timeline. Right around that time. And then my brother at the end of COVID. So yeah. Yeah, there's your gene therapy, and he's got that big syringe. Jordan Peterson, this is attributed to him. Do you agree or disagree with this quote? When you have something to say, silence is a lie. That doesn't mean talk everywhere about everything all the time, but it is why the new American media does what we do. We've got stuff to say, and we don't want to lose this country. It is why we do what we do. Another good one, Jim Carrey. When you create yourself to make it, you're going to have to either let that creation go and take a chance on being loved or hated for who you really are. Or you're going to have to kill who you really are and fall into your grave grasping onto a character that you never were. So we said, unleash, expand, and let it rip. You only get one life this time around. This is interesting here. You keep hearing about hospitals and Gaza and this and that. This post from Siggy says, apparently there is not a single hospital in the entire Arab world who can treat Gazans. They don't exist. Doctors don't exist. That's why they have to be shipped to the West, where they will seek asylum and remain forever. I mean, that is what you're being told if you watch the news. The comment here says, infiltrate, populate, dominate, never assimilate, and then destroy Western civilization. So, how concerned are you with that? Dr. Eli David said, good luck, Europe. National Geographic magazine says, the new Europeans. How waves of immigrants are reshaping a continent. We said the global plan is in full display. This is the Obama doctrine, colonization, the forced colonization of sovereign nations. The comment above says, and when all of Europe is under Sharia law, why in God's name would we even remain in NATO? And I promise, while you snicker, it's happening while you sleep. In the year 2000. This is forced colonization of military-aged men to go rampage. Look at the crime numbers in these swelling areas with illegal alien invasions. Compare the countries. We showed you a stat yesterday about that. We've shown you 100 stats.
No, don't you know that immigrant populations commit less crime than Americans? They're actually better citizens. They're actually better neighbors. It's actually Americans that are the terrible people.
You're wrong, sister. You've listened to a nitwit brainwash you in school or on MSNBC or CNN, and you're regurgitating it. Doesn't make you sound smart, baby. Makes you sound kooky. Man-Cow Mueller puts it into perspective, people. Is this the best meme of the day? Oh, I think it could be. The Democrats welcomed 40 million illegal alien invaders into America in order to change the census for voting. And they say Republicans are for gerrymandering. Yeah. Minneapolis has been taken over. Dearborn, Michigan has been taken over. Springfield, Ohio has been taken over. Parts of Columbus have been taken over. New York has been taken over. Like, this is an invasion. This is a global plan of domination and population replacement. We've shown you graphs and statistics about Americans having fewer and fewer children. Who's going to pay into the Ponzi scheme of retirement? Who's going to pay the Ponzi scheme? Who's going to pay the piper? Anyone? Democrats flood America with 40 million illegals and then have the gall to complain about gerrymandering by Republicans. By the way, back before this guy was, well, he was always trash, but back when he used to say a couple things that, let's just face it, he had to say certain things. And Lewiston, Maine has been taken over too. Damn, dude. What are we supposed to do? What are we supposed to do as Americans as we're watching our country get invaded and taken over? And that's from anyone from anywhere. Anybody can build an enclave to take over a little city block or a city or a congressional district or a state or a nation. This asshole, he used to say things that made common sense. Hillary did it too. Now, when Barry was past his re-election, I think you saw a different Barry. And oh my gosh, did you see Barry on full display pulling the puppet strings of Joe Biden? That's where Barry was in his element. No, a Ponzi scheme, not a Fonzie scheme. Yeah, who's going to buy the leather jackets if we don't flood America with illegal aliens? Americans aren't having enough kids, not enough Social Security numbers to pay into the Ponzi scheme. Hey. Hey.
If you plan to enter the U.S. illegally, your chances of getting caught and...
Why is there music? I don't need the fucking music behind every fucking video I'm trying to watch. Sorry. It's just so frustrating. There's no need to slap a copyright claim on anything I do. You would say that, wouldn't you? Yes, I would say that about me.
Went up.
If they've committed a crime, deport them. No questions asked. They're gone.
No questions asked. Just deport them.
Administration has moved aggressively to secure our borders more.
They're securing the border. Anyway, I can't even play it. There's too many clips, but there's stupid shit music behind it. Back when Democrats still thought they had to lie to the American people. The Democrats, what they've done as of late, they've shown you their true colors. That's the point of that comment. Oi, with the music. What's with the music, eh? Oi. Oi. Yeah, these people, politicians will say anything, but Trump's been consistent about the stuff he's been saying. And I appreciate that consistency. Luke Radowski, as seen from the intro to the TNAM Daily Show, put this out today. No one does this, but the Federal Reserve does this. Stacks of $100 pieces of paper. What even is the Federal Reserve? Why do they have any role in our government at all? I'm all ears, tell me. I'm all ears. Please let me know. All right. Let's buzz through the wonderful world of X. Raise your hand if you're following us on X. Hey, there's Dr. Nick sharing our post. We will retweet that. Why is Lego Batman trending? Oh, share this tab instead. There we go. A new Lego Batman game will release in 2026. Why is Great Value trending? Great Value, what are they? Oh, for fuck's sake. Remember I was telling you not to eat shrimp? I wasn't quite saying don't eat shrimp, but... According to ABC News, the FDA is warning the public not to eat, sell, or serve certain Great Value raw frozen shrimp at Walmart due to possible contamination with cesium-137, a radioactive isotope. What is this? Oh, the internet. Mela Yella says, me after eating Great Value radioactive shrimp. Was this an existing clip or did they create it for this? Can you see it? Here we go. There we go. So stupid. That could not, like, why did they? I love the internet. It's so silly. All right, so if you have radioactive shrimp, look into it. Goodness. All right. Oh, here you go. Listen to this lunatic rant. Democracy is on the ballot. Yeah, bureaucracy is on the ballot. Every time they say democracy, change it to bureaucracy. So are you aware of this? Mark Elias, one of the worst people in our political system, is melting down over Trump vowing to challenge mail-in voting. And we asked this. We said, would you ask your friend for the $100 they owe you? Or would you request that they put 5 $20 bills into the mail? Important stuff like voting should be done in one day with voter ID in person, period. We are never allowing another 2020 again. We all know what they did. So here's how you know that President Trump is over the target. Listen to Mark Elias in this, all of this.
So Donald Trump is telling us that. He is not hiding the ball. He's not like pretending to be doing something else. That is what he is saying. And it is about damn time that the institutions of this country, the legacy media, first and foremost among them, wakes the fuck up and starts to report and say what Donald Trump himself is saying. I mean, the goddamn Washington Post, and I'm sorry for swearing. I'm sorry for taking the Lord's name in vain, but their headline after Donald Trump's executive order is, and I quote, Trump previews executive order on voting. I'm sorry, what? You think what Brian and I are talking about here is Trump previewing an executive order on voting? It's as if, like, you know, they are reporting on, you know, Barack Obama or Joe Biden, you know, announcing, you know, Bald Eagle Month, right? I mean, yeah. This is not an executive order on voting, and he's not previewing it. He is saying he is going to lead a movement among Republican states to do away with a method of voting that people rely on. He's going to issue an executive order that he does not have the power to do. He's going to expect states to act as his agent in the counting and tabulation of voting. And this is what the legacy media, what the Washington Post, what Jeff Bezos's house organ for Donald Trump reports as previewing executive order on voting. I mean, Brian, our democracy is not going to survive if we do not have more responsibility by the institutions of civil society, the nonprofit world, the legacy media, the law firms, than we are currently seeing. We're going to need a modicum of courage. That's why I started Democracy Docket in 2020. It's why you and I have been doing these videos now for years. And I wish I could say it is getting better. I wish I could say the legacy media is getting more responsible, but then you read something like that from the Washington Post and you're left just shaking your head and saying, no wonder why Donald Trump is deploying the National Guard and no one seems to care. No wonder why you are seeing people disappeared off the streets of major cities and nobody seems to care. It is because we have an absolute collapse and failure by the institutions that have promised us that democracy would not die in darkness, that in fact they stand for the proposition that democracy will die in plain sight of daylight.
Yeah, the bureaucracy will die. That's what he means to say. The bureaucracy. I don't want to become Shrimp Man, Kenneth. Why is he not in jail? I keep waiting. I keep waiting to wake up to 1,000 people simultaneously arrested. Still waiting for it. But yeah, Mark Elias is at the center of so many of the problems in our country. Here's another one. Alexander Boz, an official from this is O'Keefe Media Group reporting. An official in the office of the mayor of Los Angeles. Here, let's get it in his words.
A lot of the houses, though, so like they were out of like their yards wrapped. Like nobody gave them this.
Hang on, it's a little tough to hear, but like you can hear it. But he says there was nothing they can do. He blamed residents who lost everything. Their yards were out of code. Nobody gave a F. How long was the reservoir empty? Like a year. The most basic thing for a government has failed. Every single official in Karen Bass's office, they say, should be in prison for arson and 31 counts of murder and malfeasance and failure to perform official duties, reckless endangerment, gross mismanagement, violation of public trust, misappropriation of public funds, and endangering public safety. It failed criminally. Where is the justice system? Eyal Yacobi says Hamas gangs have released footage of them stealing over 320 aid trucks. Will the New York Times report this? Or are they just going to talk about people starving in Gaza? No context. Israel bad. United States bad. Gaza great. Stop the starving. Or is Hamas the ones doing it? I don't know. How much can you trust any single video that you see online? Well, in a war context is what I'm saying. In a war context, what can you even trust? Very little. But they're claiming Hamas gangs are releasing footage of them stealing over 320 aid trucks. All right, so Clandestine says we are approaching mass awakening here. One of the big talking points today was Melania's letter and the need to address all of the missing children in Ukraine and around the world. Trump is starting to shed light on the subject that will unite humanity, the missing children. President Trump said, Ursula von der Leyen, the distinguished and highly respected president of the European Commission, and I have been discussing the massive worldwide problem of missing children. This is likewise a big subject with my wife, Melania. It is a subject at the top of all lists, and the world will work together to solve it, hopefully bringing them home to their families. So is this finally happening? Is it all going to be unraveled? Perhaps. Talking about California, Kenneth says the military just needs to take over California. Based on some of the accusations and some of the criminal activities that some of these people have been up to, I mean, there might be some stuff happening behind the scenes. There might be more on the way. I don't know how these people think they're going to run away from the stuff that they've done. there's not really a universe where I think they're going to be able to do that. David agrees with Kenneth and says the government of California is so out of control and it's corrupt to the core. Absolutely it is. So is Ukraine. All right, Brian Cates. Can't get the aspect right. A fringe benefit the Forever Wars death cult has enjoyed when it comes to human child sex trafficking is that wars and regional conflicts make it so darn easy for thousands of children to just poof, vanish. Trump is ending this. Pay attention to who screams the loudest that someone needs to stop him. All right, speaking of stopping Trump, here it is. This is Eric Bolling and John Solomon on Real America's Voice. It's all coming together, says Wall Street Apes. Take a listen to this conversation. Connect the dots, people.
Story that Kash Patel turned over to the Congress, documents showing that the FBI suspected that China was mailing tens of thousands of fake driver's licenses to Chinese citizens here so that they could create fake identities and then cast mail-in ballots for Joe Biden in the 2020 election. Massive interference. What happened to that memo, according to Kash Patel told me, for some reason, it was recalled and it wasn't investigated further. Someone sent it out and the FBI called it back and then no one ever investigated, even though there was corroborating evidence. What was the corroborating evidence? Customs and Border Protection intercepted 20,000 of those fake IDs.
Where?
In Chicago, going to Midwest states. Oh, the battleground states, of course. Yeah. They had the corroboration even. They pull it back. I just got text of these two memos for the first time. I'm going to tell you the back one first, and I'll go back to the juicy part in the beginning. When they recalled the memo, they asked all their sister agencies in the intelligence community to destroy the memo that had been sent out. That's very odd. You don't normally destroy raw intelligence reports. Somebody didn't want this to be discovered. Now, let me tell you what the memo actually says. It lays it out exactly as Kash Patel told us last night. In late August 2020, the Chinese government had produced a large amount of fraudulent United States driver's licenses that were secretly exported to the United States. The fraudulent driver's licenses would allow tens of thousands of Chinese students and immigrants sympathetic to the Chinese Communist Party to vote for U.S. presidential candidate, U.S. person Joe Biden, despite not being eligible to vote in the United States. China had collected private U.S. user data from millions of TikTok accounts to include name, ID, and address to facilitate this capability. Very specific. It comes from a source who's been working for the FBI just under a year. During that period, he was working with the FBI. He was chronically corroborated, so he was deemed to be pretty reliable. But there are things in this memo that clearly are wrong. It says, first off, we haven't corroborated everything here. It's out to just get lead generation. Two, we don't see address fields in TikTok, so maybe that part of the information could be wrong. But it was clearly meant to be a lead gen for investigators to go out and find out, was there about to be a massive...
We know who pulled back the FBI memo.
And by the way, 20,000 fake IDs, those are the ones that they know of. You know, and then when they say, oh, 20 million people snuck in the border, invaded America, you're like, well, if you know of 20, it's got to be 40, right? Like it's got to be way higher. These are the ones you know. How are you counting something that's not supposed to happen without stopping it? It's hard to know what the real numbers to much of anything really are.
Yeah. We do not. That's the missing part. We do not know who called it. We know it was recalled. We see the recall memo, but it doesn't show who gave the order. Just
how do we find that out? Because clearly someone knows that, and if there's going to be a...
Chuck Grassley just a few minutes ago sent a letter to Kash Patel saying, thanks for this memo. I thought this was my memo. What happened? You need to find out who recalled it and why they recalled it. I want every detail about the recall and why the destruction of the document. Why would you destroy something if it's just regular intelligence communication?
Just find that chain of command.
Oh, yeah.
Someone recalled it, but someone told that person to recall it, and so you know it's
going to go up the chain.
It's going to go up the chain. Christopher Wray, did it stop it, Ray, or did it actually link?
Or maybe someone else in the intelligence community, DNI, White House. We have to see.
Would they? Would the DNI be able to pull back an FBI?
They could ask it. Yeah, they sure could.
They can certainly find out. We can.
That's
look. When you tend to sniff around, you get people nervous, and you tend to get more information.
People trip up, and you finally get the truth.
Yep. Keep pushing. Put it together. Convicted pedo Anthony Weiner claims it's ridiculous that he had to face criminal charges and serve prison time for his crimes against children. He says it's ridiculous.
Story that Kash Patel turned over to the...
I didn't press play. It's ridiculous for me to be charged with a crime and do a prison sentence for the things I did. What is with Anthony Weiner not going away? Why is he still a thing? Alex Jones reporting similar story here, saying President Trump was right. The 2020 election was stolen by the CIA working with communist China. And it just kind of makes you wonder, did they just take advantage of COVID, or did they intentionally release COVID to usher in the mail-in ballots, knowing that's the end goal? We got to get rid of Trump by any means necessary. So we got to shut the world down and get mail-in ballots to do it. Otherwise, he's going to have an easy time of things. Nick Sorter put this out. This is Carolyn Levitt discussing the peace process with Putin and Zelensky.
However, one thing
By the way, thanks to John. Hang on, let me switch this. Thank you, John Boy. Lake Leon. He's got many aliases. Sent out an X post tagging the New American Media, saying you'd like to see BrianEngelman and the New American Media get press credentials to go to the White House and participate in this. And you tagged Carolyn Levitt, press secretary. You did email me previously saying, are you okay if I do something like this? I'm like, yeah, man, I'll take the support. Appreciate you. So thank you for that. I do appreciate that immensely. All right, Carolyn Levitt. So Carolyn Levitt's going to talk about things she does not appreciate.
that has absolutely not changed is the media's negative and downright false coverage of President Trump and his foreign policy accomplishments. From the beginning of this entire process, much of the left-wing media has been actively rooting against the President of the United States in the pursuit of peace. Initially, the media ridiculously claimed that President Trump was somehow beholden to Russia for even agreeing to have a face-to-face discussion with President Putin inside of the United States.
Which is so weird. Just these narratives are just so lame.
The media said President Trump was making a grave mistake by, quote, legitimizing Putin. They were aghast that President Trump would treat another world leader like a world leader. The media relentlessly attacked President Trump and claimed he suffered a, quote, major defeat for not immediately emerging with a final agreement, even though he said heading into that meeting, this was a meeting to listen and to understand how to move the ball forward. All weekend following those historic U.S.-Russia bilateral talks, we listened to clueless pundits on television trying but failing to claim that the president had failed. The so-called experts in the foreign policy establishment, whose record is nothing but endless wars, trillions of wasted taxpayer dollars, and dead Americans, have the nerve to try and lecture President Trump, who has solved 7 global conflicts in 7 months, about peace. This is the same president, by the way, who brokered the Abraham Accords in his first term, on top of more than half a dozen other peace deals this year alone, as I just said. We also saw yesterday the president of Ukraine and all of the other major leaders of Europe fly across the Atlantic Ocean to meet President Trump at the White House because of the progress that was made, and that, if you ask the media, failed meeting, but it was not. It was highly productive and it was successful. This is why Americans' trust in the mass media is at a lowest point in more than 5 decades. Diplomacy is a delicate process.
And that's why the New American Media exists.
The mass media is at a lowest point in more than 5 decades. Diplomacy is a delicate process, and instead of reporting the facts about what is happening here at this White House and what is happening between this president and other leaders around the world, many outlets in this room continue to try to actively undermine the president and sabotage the efforts towards peace.
This is exactly... Where's the screen? This is exactly what Chris Pratt was talking about with Bill Maher. Take the win. What are you doing? Why are you rooting against America just because that guy's the coach? You want the team to lose all their games just because President Trump is the coach. That's your team. We are on that team, and we're also on Team Humanity. You want hundreds of thousands more thrown into body bags over there? Or do you want to stop the unnecessary killing? I'd like to stop. So that's why Carolyn Levitt New York Times reporter tried to question why Trump didn't phone Putin in front of the other world leaders, saying that it's disrespectful. That doesn't really make sense. Is that what set her off on this, or was this a different one?
Hey, if the point is to get everybody on the same page, why wouldn't Trump just take the call from Putin while the other leaders were in the room? He said it would be disrespectful to do that. But why is it disrespectful?
With all due respect, only a reporter from the New York Times would ask a question like that, Sean. The president met with all of these European leaders at the White House 48 hours after sitting down with President Putin on American soil. In fact, there was so much progress in the readout that was given to these European leaders immediately following his meeting with President Putin that every single one of them got on a plane 48 hours later and flew to the United States of America. And if I could just read for all of you some of the statements from those European leaders yesterday, you had President Zelensky himself saying it was a very good conversation. It was really good. We spoke about very sensitive points. The Secretary General, Mark Rutte, it was the president, only because of the president, that this deadlock was broken, but with President Putin by starting a dialogue. So these leaders, who this war is in their backyard, are very grateful that the president took that call and that he was there to provide them with a readout of Russia's thinking on this, something that was not done by the previous administration at all. Catherine.
Thank you. Is the White House looking at Budapest as a possible location?
I'm not going to confirm or deny.
Yeah, and a lot of these conversations with the negotiations, you're not going to be able to give hand. How do I go back? Go back one more time. There we go. There's only so much you can say. It's an active conversation. And you don't give away your strategy. Rand Paul here says, I'm ready to audit the Fed. Are you? Yeah, free crab tomorrow. We've been talking about auditing the Fed for just get rid of them. What are we even doing? All right, here's an interesting take. So yes, I support Rand. Yes, but my God, like can we just do it? What are we? Why haven't we? How soon can we? Also, do you spell Zelensky with one Y or two? I saw that Fox had spelled Zelensky with two Ys. Is that the general accepted? Has it always been one Y, or is that a new I've noticed that a few times now. I always thought it was one. All right, Dr. Interracial here. He's got a take on these Democrat-run cities and the types of people that feel certain ways about them.
I am so happy to see that a lot of black people support Trump move to protect their cities. And I would say 98% of the people, black people that is, want safe streets. Think about it. When we was growing up, we was able to play in the street. Kickball, dodgeball, tag. We used to congregate in the street, on the sidewalk.
Yep.
You know, that was the thing kids did in the summer in the cities. Now, those same cities have their residents as hostages. And, you know, I mean, there's a lot of people coming out and they support it, you know. And in a tweet I put out a few days ago saying, you notice that you don't see no black people out there protesting. And this is white liberals, I tell you. It's amazing, but, you know, we want to protect the community. And it's great to see black people stand up because they want to be able to sit at home on their front porch, watch their kids play in the yard, do the things we used to do as kids. And now they have to sit far back in the house somewhere, worried about a stray bullet coming through the window or door. When they get home, they gotta rush through the door and lock the doors, close the curtains, you know, and they gotta protect their kids from being gang members trying to recruit them. So it's glad to see that black people are finally realizing who is a worse enemy, and that's the white liberal. All right.
I think it was Malcolm X that said the white liberal is the biggest threat to black society. Something along those lines. Pretty close to it. I know I've seen Anomaly quote that a bunch of times. I can't remember the exact quote. Vittorio here says, well, we're witnessing the extinction of Western civilization in real time. In the EU last year, deaths outnumbered births by a stunning 1.26 million people. Our societies have become incredibly child unfriendly. Doggone aspect ratio. Yeah, everything is super expensive and people can't afford having families, can't live in a home. Fix our money. Fix the money, make it go further. They're obsessed with inflation. Oh, we got to constantly keep devaluing the dollar. The fuck you do. You do not need to keep running this garbage Federal Reserve scam where they devalue the currency by almost 100%. Yeah, one person used to be able to go to work and earn enough for a house and a car and a yard, and mom could raise the kids, and everything was awesome.
Everything was awesome if you were white.
What are you talking about? You can have money that goes a long way for all types of people. But the Federal Reserve has been stealing every ounce of money from you. They are bad. Is this even in debate right now? Incredibly child unfriendly, but look at that in the European Union. Live births by the million, almost at 7, all the way down to 3.5. Deaths from 3.5 to where were we at? 5. It's nuts. And Elon shared that and said Europe is dying. Gateway Pundit reports that Nevada's Attorney General says Pam Bondi is outraged after Israel's top cyber chief fled the U.S. without surrendering his passport following arrest for luring a minor online. He must be returned immediately to face justice. And we asked Grok, we keep hearing rumors that pedos can flee to Israel with impunity. Is that accurate? Haven't heard back from Grok. Oh, this doesn't look like spam. It says probable spam. Scott L. says, who is the deep state? Is it Israel that seems to be at all high levels of government manipulating the law to fit Israel first agenda? An Israeli first attorney general. Even let Israeli officials who get caught preying on children for sex to go free. Is this the America we voted for? That's not spam. I don't have a not spam button, but that was an actual reply. Agree with it or disagree with it, but it's a reply. Clandestine says, I think this moment was far more important than we realize. Here's Trump with all these world leaders. While Trump has NATO leaders and Zelensky in a photo op, he directs their attention to a painting from that day in Butler. All the leaders look like they just saw a ghost. Does Trump know who tried to kill him? Let me full screen this. Go this way. There, you can see it better this way. Okay. He points and says, that was not a good day.
That was not a great day.
That was not a great day. Look at that painting on the wall. Fight, fight, fight. Yeah, this Macron, is that Macron? Something's off with this guy. Starmer. I don't know. She's smiling, but does it look like they saw a ghost? I don't know. Is that Maloney? Maloney? Do you think Trump knows who tried to take him out? Do you think you know who tried to take Trump out? Wow. Space Sudoer Says a lot of the people in this space flight community are trying to cancel me because I think a man cannot become a woman. Let me say it again. A man cannot become a woman. Get this one. Charlie Kirk, I don't know, was this actually his quote or not? But it says, if you're 18 and you think you're the opposite sex, you have a mental illness. If you're 8 and think you're the opposite sex, your mother has a mental illness. Wow. Whether that is his accurate quote or not, I don't know. Good grief. What are we doing? Does that make anyone uncomfortable to look at? To just see this pretending to be? I don't know. It's not my theme. Ever notice how dogs only come in male and female, and cutting the balls off doesn't make it female? Elon responded to this and says, this is the belief of 99% of Earth and 100% of history, that a man cannot become a woman. We replied saying, wonder what percentage of Democrats believe this, Elon? Since several polls show the deep state Democrats hovering around 19% approval rating, which we still think is far too high, maybe 19% of Democrats might agree that a man can't become a woman. What's your guess? We'll see if Elon gets back to me. Remember, I sent out an interesting tweet to Jason Kelsey during a Monday night game or a Thursday night game in Denver against the Browns. And he responded, and I got hundreds of thousands of impressions. He had a really thoughtful reply, too. I don't know if I ever told you about that. All right, got to change the screen size here. Is this a woman or is this a guy? I might have played this character before, but it doesn't, and I'm not trying to be mean. It's just, it looks like a guy wearing lipstick, sort of. Shadow of Ezra says the World Economic Forum now admits their climate change push has fallen flat and says the next global agenda will be a manufactured water crisis. She even admitted they couldn't vaccinate the entire world, but argued that water is something everyone can grasp, even children. This Rhode Island Special Assistant Attorney General, Devin Flanagan, and her friend are arrested for trespassing. Flanagan is seen getting a police car door shut in her face after she and her friends mentioned about 20 times that she's an attorney general, facing charges of willful trespass, disorderly conduct, and resisting arrest. She reportedly worked in the Attorney General's office for about 7 years. This footage is a masterpiece.
You should come over. This is not showing. This is
I want you to turn your body cam off. Protocol is that you turn it off. If a citizen requests it to turn it off.
What? If a citizen requests, you have to turn it off? What? Fuck no. Police should not ever be able to turn their body camera off. Ever. Fucking ever. Never. And there should be protocols in place where you don't just batch release footage. What if they're in the bathroom? What if they make a call to their significant other? Not everything is public record. But you keep that thing rolling to protect yourself against interactions from inebriated ladies on a power trip. Now, maybe that is the law. She claims it. I would disagree with that completely and say, hell no. You're never allowed to turn those body cameras off. But who knows?
You turn your body cam off. Protocol is that you turn it off. If a citizen requests it to turn it off. She's a lawyer.
So they want you guys to leave?
Yes, we're gonna leave.
Let's just leave. Let's just make it easy, okay?
We're gonna make it easy.
No,
that's not.
I am. Okay. I'm her
That's
husband.
not the point. Can you look at me?
Yeah, we'll talk over here, okay?
Your protocol is.
Can we all talk? Can we all talk? We'll talk over here. They want you to leave.
Your protocol is.
Can we talk? Who's she to you? What's that?
I appreciate the husband for giving it the old college try, but you never want to talk to a cop. You want to get away from a cop. If they're asking you to leave, Get the fuck out. I know. I had an incident where I was kicked out of the house that I was staying at. There was a party. I was parked around the corner. Someone complained and someone accidentally let these cops into the gated building and turned into a whole thing. And they were kicking everybody out. And I'm like, where do you live? I'm like, oh, I'm staying here. And they're like, do you live here? I said, tonight I am. Yeah. Like, I'm staying here. He's like, you need to go. I'm like, go where? I'm going here. He goes, if you don't live here, you need to get out of here. I said, but I do live here tonight. Like, I'm not driving. I've had a beverage. I don't want to leave. I want to go. You can't go in. You need to go. Well, where am I supposed to go? I don't care. Just not in there. Okay, so you want me to just walk around the building? Like, just take laps? So I did that. I just started walking in a rectangle, and I was stopping at each crosswalk, looking left, looking right, then crossing at the stopwalk, then going across the street, walking down to the next, and then looking both ways, and then crossing the street. And at some point, some cop came up to me and got in my face. And I could... He was like itching for a fight. Little short Asian dude. He gets up in my face. He's like, you been drinking tonight? You been drinking tonight? Trying to get me for like public intoxication or something after I didn't want to be drunk in public. I wanted to be drunk in there. They threw me into public. And it was at that time, there was a second cop that came up. And my friend came up. And the lady cop looked at me and goes, I would suggest you walk away right now. I go, am I free to go? And she says, get out of here. And my friend pulled me away. And that cop was just, it's like, easy, pal. Take it easy. Not some serial killer you gotta track down. I'm a guy. Just some dude. So this guy, this husband, can we talk? Can we talk? Buddy, like, there's not, just go.
No, nothing. Nothing.
She is our college friend. Okay. Yes.
No, I'm not.
You guys just want to know? Do you want him trespass? Anything we can do. Yeah. Trespass, yeah. I just need trespass. Got to know. Please. It's the only way. Okay.
No, I'm not. No, I'm not.
Do you want to check?
Cuff him, please. How bad was it inside of here? Wow.
You guys just want to know? Do you want him trespass? Anything we can do. Yeah. Trespass, yeah. I just need trespass. Got to know. Please. It's the only way. Okay.
No, I'm not. No, I'm not.
Do you want to chat?
I know that your protocol is...
So you're trespass, or we got to leave now? Unless you want to be in there.
We're not trespassing. You haven't notified us that we're trespassing. Number one.
What did I just say to you? You're trespassing.
You haven't notified us that you're trespassing. What did I just say to you?
I know that your protocol is...
So you're trespass, or we got to leave now? Unless you want to be in there.
We're not trespassing. You haven't notified us that we're trespassing. Number one.
What did I just say to you? You're trespassing. Let's go.
Number one.
I don't want to arrest you guys.
You're not going to...
And he's saying, I don't want to have to arrest you guys. Just go. They're giving these people every out. And by the way, face it. The husband here, come on, buddy. Put your arm around her back and go, baby, we need, come with me right now. We're going. Come on. Buddy, I don't want to blame the dude for her actions, but, you know, he failed her here. Save her from herself. She's a train wreck.
arrest us. Number two
So let's
is
leave.
that
We gotta go. We gotta go.
protocol
Let's
is
go.
to
Let's
the
go.
citizen protocol is if we ask you to turn the body
I don't
cam
want to
off.
deal with this. Let's
Okay,
go.
no, I understand you don't want to deal with it, but the protocol is, and your protocol is if I ask you to turn off the body cam, you have to turn it off, and that's your protocol.
She's a lawyer, so she knows.
Well, that's lawyer stuff, so that's not true. So we gotta go.
No, it is. That's law.
I'm an
What's she
AG.
saying?
I'm an AG.
Good for you. I don't give a shit. Let's go.
Good for you. I don't give a F. How did they think this was going to turn out?
So she knows.
Well, that's lawyer stuff, so that's not true. So we gotta go.
No, it is. That's law.
I'm an
What's she
AG.
saying?
I'm an AG.
Are you an AG though?
Good for you. I don't give a shit. Let's go. We're going. Let's go. We're leaving.
Please
We're leaving.
don't put your hands on us.
Can you get your children out of here? Like, I don't know why.
I'm sorry. What?
Let's go.
Can you get your children out of here?
No, let's go.
No.
Let's go. Come on, you're wasting our time. They're two full-grown women and mothers of children. All right. You just need the tank. You just need the tank.
I'm an AG. I'm an AG.
Oh, she's an AG. You know, I don't. These two are not attractive enough to have gotten away with everything their entire lives. I could understand to some degree if you're a 10 and nobody's ever told you no. They talk about athletes all the time. Well, you know, athletes, they've had everything given to them. People have bent over backwards for them since they were in 5th grade and they realized they had a unique talent. I understand. Super rich, super talented athletes, super successful, super hot, super wealthy. Like, I get, like, if you're in this rarefied air of, like, you got everything you could ever hope for in the palm of your hand. I just, these two don't seem bright. They're not 10s. Why do they keep thinking they're in charge of this situation? I don't get the strategy. I don't get the point. And they're inebriated. So, like, you know, they're not even all there during this. But still. Did you know she's an AG?
You just need the tank. You just need the tank.
I'm an AG. I'm an AG. I'm an AG. What's
wrong with you?
What are you probable cause to detain me for?
You're being detained because you're not leaving.
Because I'm what?
Can you relax? Sir, she's not doing anything wrong.
AG.
She's not leaving.
I'm an AG.
She's an AG? Honey, you're not. She's not being arrested. Let's go.
I'm not being arrested. You're putting me in cuffs. I'm not being arrested.
Do you have any weapons on you?
No. I'm an AG.
Her badge is in the car. You want to go get a badge?
Let me tell you something. You're arrested.
Get the hell out
Let me tell you something.
of here. Buddy, just seriously.
You're arresting an AG. Let me tell you something.
Are you on a
She's doing that. Let me tell you something. Let me tell you something. Let me tell you something. I don't want you to tell me something. I want you to leave a place when they've told you to leave.
Let me tell you something.
Let me tell you something. Let me tell you something. Let me tell you something.
Buddy, get the hell out of here. Buddy, just seriously.
You're arresting an AG. Let me tell you something.
Are you on arrest right now? No.
You're putting me in handcuffs and you're Mirandizing. You're not Mirandizing me.
Relax.
Buddy, you're gonna regret this.
Yeah.
You're gonna regret it. I'm an AG.
Buddy, you're gonna regret this. You're gonna poof. Shut up. You were asked to leave this establishment. Now we're taking you out of this establishment. Buddy, you're gonna regret this.
Buddy, you're gonna regret this.
Yeah.
You're gonna regret it. I'm an AG. Take your hands off me.
We will get the license.
Hands off me.
We will get the license.
She's getting detained.
No.
No.
Get the license. Get out of here. Get back right now. Get back.
Detained.
No,
She's gonna catch resisting arrest charges.
Get back.
That dude's hands up. Like, see, that's the look of a dude.
Get back.
Look, hands up. I don't know. That's a look of the dude that has had no control over these ladies his entire life. Like the entire time they've been together.
See, let me tell you something. I'm an AG. Did I tell you I'm an AG? I'm an AG. You're gonna regret this, but oh, I love that car door slamming in her face thing. I mean, these women are like they've tried to steamroll this whole situation, and it has gone very poorly for most of them.
Yeah, cops.
I'm
Yep.
right here. I'm right here. It's okay.
All right, just go from the car.
No, I'm right here. I'm right here. I'm right here. Come on, babe.
No.
He's trying to flee the arrest.
All right.
Babe, I'm right here.
No, babe, please, I'm scared.
I'm right here.
I'm scared now because I have to face the consequences of my action. Are you an AG?
Please,
I'm right here.
No, I'm not gonna find those. I'm after.
I'm right here.
No.
Okay.
Good. You're being very helpful, guy who's right here. You should have got him the fuck out of there, guy. I'm blaming the guy more than I need to. These women are train wrecks. Let's be honest. They're a train wreck. But this guy deserves some blame for not lassoing these ladies and getting them the hell out of here.
No, please don't do this to my friend.
I'm right here.
No,
right
no,
here.
no, babe.
I'm right here.
Babe.
I'm right here.
He's right there. I'm right here. I'm right here. I'm right. Does that sound like a guy that's into girls? I don't know. Just I'm right here. I'm right here. I'm right here. Are you?
No, please don't do this to my friend.
I'm right here.
No,
right
no,
here.
no, babe.
I'm right here.
Babe.
I'm right here.
No, babe.
Relax.
No,
Relax.
What's wrong with you?
Relax.
We don't want to put you in handcuffs. Let's go. Let's go.
No, babe.
Listen, you're overreacting. You're adding charges. You're overreacting.
You're adding charges.
No. Please take my hands up. Please take them out of handcuffs. No, please take them.
You were overreacting. You didn't have to have this happen. Get in the car.
No.
She still thinks she's in charge of this situation. She's adding charges.
You didn't have to have this happen. Get in the car.
No. Babe, no.
You got two to say.
I'm right here.
No.
Good to know he's right there when he should have been right away from this scenario.
No. Babe, no.
You got two to say.
I'm right here.
Get in the
No.
car. Just put her in.
No.
Get back, bro. In the car. Get in the car. Get your feet in the car.
I'm right here.
Get your feet in the car.
No.
Get your feet in the fucking car.
Dan.
Babe, I'm right here.
No, Dave. No.
Get your feet in the car.
Who the fuck are?
Get
Don't
your
touch
feet
me.
in the car. You're a grown adult. You're acting like a kid.
Still thinks she's in charge. Don't touch me.
Get your feet in the car.
Who the fuck are?
Get
Don't
your
touch
feet
me.
in the car. You're a grown adult. You're acting like a kid.
Dude, she's gonna get, that's a great way to get your ankle broken.
Dan!
Babe, right here. I'm right here.
No!
Glad to know that idiot is still right. He's still saying, I'm right here. 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 Bro, why weren't you there when you needed to get her the fuck out of there, you dummy?
Who are you? This is so inappropriate.
This is so inappropriate. Yes, your actions
You're
are.
overreacting.
Wow. That was way more entertaining than I. Wow. Flanagan, the one who got the door slammed in her face, said, I'm an AG. Willful trespass, disorderly conduct, and resisting arrest. I want to know, what were they doing inside that bar where they said, yeah, trespass him, cuff him, get him the hell out of here. I know, I loved this video more than I thought I would. So, yeah, those women have clearly never faced any type of real struggle. Press play, X. These women have clearly never faced any type of real struggle in their entire lives. Absolutely retarded, entitled morons, says Gain of Fauci. Colin Rugg says they've gotten away with literally everything for the past 40 plus years. I mean, she you know, she's marginally attractive. She's not a 10. How is how it? I don't know. Well, there you have it. That was, Megyn Kelly says, the absolute entitlement and disrespect on display in this video by both of these spoiled, rules don't apply to me, narcissistic women is revolting. But yeah, I try not to like ruin my initial reaction by like consuming all this content. I try to get my first reaction with you. And in a way, I try to limit a lot of my media consumption to show prep for this program. I think I realized at one point I was consuming several hours of content, scouring the interwebs for the best of the best stuff. And I think I share some pretty great stuff. That's a theme for the show. What is my hair doing? I feel like I just got Lego hair, which, look, I'm glad I still have hair. I'm glad I have hair. But like, I just have like Lego guy hair. You just clamp it on. Used to be spiky and stuff. I don't even know what I'm doing with it anymore. That did not improve the scenario. I'm going to roll with it. Kenneth, she's an 8 while asleep. Lake Leon, if I had as much to drink as she did, she might be a 10 then. All right. I mean, yeah. Good grief. Yeah, damn, I'm loving this. I really enjoyed this. Kind of. And look, we've all had our moments. Far be it from me to think, far be it from me to make it seem like I've never had regrettable moments. We all have. And if we haven't, we will. And if we've had them before, we might have some again. This is just not a great day. But it didn't have to go this way. The guy says, I don't want to arrest you. Get out of here. He tells the guy, take care of your kids. Take your kids. Excuse me? Yeah, bitch. Excuse you. You're acting insane. And the best that dude could offer, I'm not just bashing these girls. I'm bashing the boyfriend or the husband or whatever that guy is. I'm right here. 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 Bro, you're not supposed to be right there. He told you to get the out of there. I'm right here. 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 I am literally right here, like right now. I'm right here. Pathetic. Oh, look, here it is. Patriot Warrior, Texas. Check this out. Press secretary, please consider the following. Thank you. Tags American media. Dear Miss Levitt, writes John Boy. I did not put John up to this. John, can you attest to this? I did not ask you to do this. Although I've definitely asked people to advocate on my behalf before, and there's no shame in it. But I did not in this case. Like I said, I don't have shame for a lot of things. Some people say, I don't know. I feel weird about telling people that I have like donation links and stuff. I'm like, pfft. As I'm talking about it, I'll put them back on the bottom of the screen to remind you that we're on Patreon at the New American Media and tip jars on Venmo, Cash App, and PayPal if you wanted to make a contribution. I mean, how would I ever get crowdfunded if I didn't ask you? So I have asked people to advocate on my behalf 1,000 different times for 1,000 different things. But in this particular case, like Lake Leon says right there, all on me. Yep, this was all Lake Leon. And it was cool. It was appreciated that you thought to do such a thing. And I do appreciate that. Dear Miss Levitt says, Droopy D 4631293. Dear Miss Levitt, I'm writing to respectfully request an opportunity for new podcasters who have completed all necessary paperwork and met White House press access requirements to ask a question during the White House press briefing. As the media landscape evolves, podcasters play an increasingly vital role in informing the public. Many new podcasters, despite fulfilling all procedural obligations, have not yet had the chance to participate in briefings. Granting them an opportunity to engage directly would enhance the diversity of voices in the briefing room and foster greater public discourse. I kindly ask for your consideration in allowing one or more of these qualified podcasters to ask a question at an upcoming briefing. Mr. Brian Engelman, the founder of the New American Media, the host of Agree to Disagree, the TNAM AM show, Unhappy Hour Sports Show, the Strictly Football, and more. Please let me know if additional information or coordination is needed to facilitate this request. Thank you for your time and support in promoting a vibrant and inclusive press environment. Sincerely, John Brenneman. Thank you so much. I applied as soon as I heard about it. I applied a second or third time just to make sure. Did you get my memo? So we thanked you for the support and said we've been unpacking the news for 14 years and we've applied multiple times for White House press credentials, and we hope to attend soon. At Press Secretary Carolyn Levitt, if you need any additional information, please send us a DM. Hashtag, what's this mean? TYFAATTM. What does that mean? Hashtag TYFYATTM. Type in the comments. What does that mean? Tifiatum. Tifiatum. Levitt's level-headed. Oh, this was by the way, did this. Why can't I? Oh. There's this thing. 11-year-old shoots illegals. Thanks, Fox, for reporting it in Montana. Shotgun preteen versus illegal alien home invaders. Just something. The picture didn't seem right, and something about it didn't seem right. We said, Grok, is this a true story? Nope, the story's false. Urban legend, originated in 2017. No records exist. Now, that's not the say-all, end-all, be-all, but I like to try to get some clarification when I can. Babylon B reports that Democrats say mail-in ballots will place an undue hardship on dead voters. Won't somebody think of the dead voters? Please, won't somebody think of the dead voters? Leave it be, leave it be, leave it. Okay, have I told you about this? I've always wanted to pitch a Sesame Street bit. And you know what? Maybe I should do it. Maybe I should turn it into a comedy bit for me and get it out of Sesame Street, and I'll take it over. And it'd be the Beatles. You know how they have like a letter of the day? Hey, Jambi. That's the word of the day. I don't know, Jambi. Wait, there's like a higher pitch one. I don't know. Haven't done it in a while. So the pitch is this. It's the letter B. And it's the Beatles singing, letter B, the letter B, letter B, letter B. Speaking words of wisdom, let her be. B as in boy. You're a zombie. All right. Anyway, did Grok answer this? I don't know when we get. Oh, I guess it didn't. I've seen it reported that Biden, Romney, Kerry, and Pelosi all had family working as board members in Ukraine. Something about this seems off too. I asked Grok, but I guess there was a space there accidentally. That wasn't supposed to be. New York Post from July of 2020 says Nancy Pelosi's husband was among lawmakers linked to PPP loan recipients. Sully says Paul Pelosi took out 2 PPP COVID relief loans for $711,000 and $996,000, and both were forgiven. And we asked a question. You can vote on this one in our poll. Do you feel like a fool for not taking out PPP loans? Since most of them were just going to make a like a high, make a hiney ho. Hey, zombie. So, as some of you know, I run a store. I resell. And I did a bulk buy of some stuff. And I got a Pee Wee Herman doll thrown in. Like a pretty big size Pee Wee Herman doll. Then another purchase, I've got another Pee Wee Herman. I never had one growing up. But I did sell one a month or two ago. $50, $60. Pretty cool. Oh, also Tool has a good song called Zombie. All right. One day after BlackRock head Larry Fink took over the World Economic Forum, they introduced a plan to, well, here, let's just listen to Alex real quick, because this whole BlackRock stuff going on, I am so sick of what's happening.
And speaking of Larry Fink, now the head of the World Economic Forum, high-level representatives have announced in Europe, in Australia, and in Canada, plans to ban the construction of all new single-family homes and put massive taxes on you if you do live by yourself and with a family, as a family.
Gross.
And they're moving to ban all humans owning their own automobiles. Remember Larry Fink and Klaus Schwab all said that a few years ago. We will end up soon, by 2030, you will not have your own car. And we're not going to allow the new building of any single-family homes. And you notice in the Palisades they burned down on purpose. I told you it'd be a UN city. They declare an emergency, build giant high-rises, 250-square-foot coffin apartments. It's all been officially announced exactly as I said. That's BlackRock. That's the social credit score. That's the ESG. All of this comes out of them.
How do we stop them?
The vaccine passports, the internet IDs. You just have to go look at what agenda are they pushing. And then if you do the opposite, you're going to be in good stead. But BlackRock is just one big part of the State Street Vanguard BlackRock conglomerate. They've done studies that just a handful of shareholders own the majority of. But they control your investment money. That's why we need to migrate away from anything in BlackRock, State Street Vanguard holdings. That's why the state of Texas and other states are leading the fight, removing state investment funds, school funds, all of it, pension funds from them. And it's already made BlackRock on the surface back down, but they're not actually backing down. Let's talk about Larry Fink saying, I'm going to control your behavior. I'm going to break up your family. I'm going to take control of your body. I can play clips of everything I just said. He says it. We're going to ban single-family dwelling homes. We're going to ban private car ownership. They're public about it. These are nasty, nasty, nasty people. And I'm simply trying to get people to understand all that. Every evil, every anti-family, every anti-God, every anti-Christian thing, everything to put you in debt and destroy the economy and ban organic farming and just you name it evil, they're running it.
All right, let's check out the rest of that clip, 18 minutes. Here's Bill Maher.
It's funny, I see that today is the anniversary of Woodstock. This is 56 years ago, and on the hip.
I went to Woodstock in '99.
What did they hate more than anything else? War. What is it good for? Absolutely nothing.
Say it again now. Huh. Good God, Joe. What is it good for? Absolutely nothing. Say it again now. Why is it doing that? Play. It's giving me the pinwheel. Why is it doing that? Do I still have an internet feed? What's up? What's that happen?
Of Woodstock, this is 56 years ago, and the hippies, what did they hate more than anything else? War. What is it good for? Absolutely nothing. So if you're the kind of person who says, you know, you can find some good in anybody, this would be the good in Donald Trump. He really does not like war. Thailand and Cambodia were having firing at each other. Rwanda and the Congo. Most people don't even know about these. India and the
can't point it out on a map.
Pakistan, Armenia, Azerbaijan. He got involved in all of them. He really, he doesn't really, he wants to. Now, the way he does it, as usual, not, you know, with Ukraine, the solution was, well, surrender. Give Putin everything he wants. And even that didn't work. That's the thing. He gave Putin anything he wanted, and it didn't work. But again, let's not have the zombie lie that he's still backing Putin, because, first of all, he bombed Iran. That was a Putin ally. He didn't get out of NATO.
No.
He mended fences with NATO. So...
well, it stopped us from being robbed blind by NATO.
And he put sanctions back on Russia. So, you know...
You're really coming around, Bill.
I'm not coming around. There's no coming around. There's just to what's true.
Yes,
This is true shit. Right. I don't come around. I'm not on anybody's team. I'm on the team. I'm on what's right, what's true, what happened. This is what happened. He just doesn't like war.
You know, look at that. Inviting Bill Maher to dine with President Trump seems to have been a very good plan. Not that people Bill Maher never agreed with anything Trump did, but look, Bill Maher, Jimmy Kimmel, Colbert, these people have some of the worst cases, obvious cases of Trump derangement syndrome that we've ever seen. By the way, for the second day in a row, watch what happens to the screen. Oh, the other side of my face is illuminated. This whole show I've been looking at a ring light that has not been turned on. Yeah, we're proud of Bill Maher there, but he got pissed when he said you're coming around. He's like, I'm not coming around. Truth is truth. He got pissed. He's like, no, don't tell me I'm going on Team Trump. He's still got like the Trump derangement syndrome in there. David, good question. You ask, how do they allow these companies to exist that are totally against all humans? Yeah, and how does banning cars and banning how does that make more money for corporations? I mean, unless it's rolled into the depopulation and we need to claim all of the things now and get rid of all the, I don't know. Kenneth, that's a good, I could probably work with that as a joke. I was thinking about going to perform comedy tonight. Thinking about it. I'm not prepared. I don't have prepared remarks. I don't have a set list in my head. But there's something in there about hippies facing hip replacement now. The hippies back in the day, oh, they're hippies now. Just it's about the hip replacement. I'm trying to figure out how to make it, like how to tune that joke, but I think there's a good joke in there. Hippies, hip replacement. Here it is. This is what I wanted to tell you about. America's back, baby. Please tell me this music is something I can't trust it. I can't trust that this is music I'm allowed to play. I'm going to mute it while they're doing their thing. Pete Hegseth.
Bowels of the Pentagon
for the Pete and Bobby Challenge. I think this was your idea, so I blame you. But it's all about Make America Healthy Again. We're going to be fit, not fat. We want recruits that are ready to go and
Fit, not
challenge.
fat.
What are we doing today, Bobby?
Well, Pete and I are going to do our part and encourage American youth to do this challenge.
Pete and I we're going to do our part to participate in this challenge. See, what we have is we're going to try to do 100 push-ups. You could do the diamond one or the wide push-up, or maybe the standard push-up with elbows in, and also 100 of those push-ups and then 50 pull-ups. The goal here with Secretary Hegseth, Pete, as they call him, is to do these challenges under 5 minutes. Can you give me some of this in under 5 minutes? We want to be fit, not fat. Making America healthy again.
And the challenge is to do 100 push-ups and 50 pull-ups in any order you want in under 10 minutes.
So 5 minutes is the top standard that we want to meet.
You're not going to be able to do.
I don't know if that is music I can use. So stupid. Yeah, there's the girl in the yellow. She was put front and center because she's good at this. There she is.
The Secretary
They both did it, but they couldn't do it in under 5 minutes. That's fine.
Defense shark attack.
How many people could do this in a day? The gal in yellow could kick all of our butts at the same time, yeah? Hey, don't push me. Push a push pop. Remember that commercial from back in the day? Hey, don't push me. Push a push pop. Pete can beat you up. I'm Hans, and I am Franz, and we're here to pump you up. David asks, and doesn't anyone think that having the head of BlackRock take over the World Economic Forum is not going to be a problem? Well, yeah, it's all a problem. It's all psychopaths. Let's vote with our dollars and bankrupt.
You can do better, Rachel Top.
Trying to make sure that Americans can't get into housing. I can't stand that stuff at all.
Let's go! Make your country proud!
Anyway, they're doing a thing and they won't stop with the music, so I'm going to keep moving along. And part of moving along is saying that is the end of my prepared remarks for today's program. Thank you all for being here. I had a fun time today. I always have a fun time. I look forward to unpacking the news because I really do try to limit my consumption. And I try to put most of the energy in for the show. All day long, I'm scanning and sending and sharing content, but it is kind of like my favorite time of the day. Kenneth says, remove the dollar and replace it with the gold back already. Yeah, silverbacks too. All right, everyone. Thank you so much for being here for the TNAM Daily Show here on the New American Media. All the donation links are at the bottom. I told you where to find us. Just look for the New American Media in all of the places. There's a couple sites we're not on. We're not on TikTok yet. Maybe that's a mistake. But it's like one of those comments. Was that, I don't know, Kenneth or David or John? I forget. One of you guys says, that's why I don't use TikTok. And I'm like, well, Kenneth says, it's my social life. Yeah, I mean, this is a big part of my social life, too. I heard a report that suicide rates are down. Suicide rates. Since 1990, they're down a nice number, a significant number. And part of the reason suspected is that maybe in 1990, if you were alone or isolated and you didn't have a community or you kind of you didn't have much going on, you didn't have much to do or look forward to, it was just kind of whatever. But what changed in those numbers versus today? And it's kind of like, well, we have the internet. We can be in chat rooms. We could be playing video games. We could be dating. We could be scrolling content, laughing at comments, leaving our own comments, sending messages. They're sending messages back. All of it, really. But yeah, I think the internet, like I said, you can't do the whistle stop tours and keep pulling off the same stuff that the deep state Democrats used to get away with, because you're busted. You're busted because of the internet instantly. Your shit, it doesn't fly anymore. When we've got you figured out and we don't like you, we don't want Democrats in charge of anything. They're not adults in the room.
You're telling me Donald Trump's an adult? He's a piece of, he's the worst.
Yeah, Trump's a comic. Some things land, some things don't. Deal with it. Look at the policies. He stopped 7 wars and he's trying to stop this biggest one. Let him cook. Let him cook, for the love of God. But yeah, the internet connecting people, all of us, we gather on a daily and we have fun doing it. It's community. And I've said this before, being a bartender, I would pride myself on, and it's been mentioned to me on multiple occasions. Just my ability to build community. When people would come into the bar, I'd come up with questions of the day. Same shit I do here. And we all get talking. We get to know each other's personalities. We hang out a little, like if you're at the bar. Now 2 people that were sitting there by themselves, maybe their eyes buried in now their eyes are up. Now they're talking to a couple people across the bar. And like now everyone's like having a good time. That's kind of the point. That's what we aim for. It's what we should aim for as bartenders. It's what we should aim for as entertainers, podcasters, comedians, all of it. Engagement. Like I want to jam. I don't want to sit and just practice my instrument by myself. I want to play with other people and have different things come out organically. That was one of my favorite things, just jamming. It's actually a good point. Now I'm wondering how many jam sessions I have recorded that we never put up or posted. It might be daunting, but I want to try to get all of my content up there. Anyway, I digress. But I'll be back tomorrow unpacking more of the news. Stay tuned. Maybe we'll have an update on peace at that point. Fingers crossed. So thank you all for being here on the T-Dam Daily Show. Be back again tomorrow. Until then, I appreciate you. I love you. And we'll talk to you again soon. Take care, everybody. Peace.
Your guide to the truth. TheNewAmericanMedia.com.